88, Jimmy Giles, too, and he might also have added number 42, the smashing, crashing running back from the University of Southern California. This year, Tampa Bay's offense vastly improved with those three men, but tonight, the defense, which has slackened recently, must cope with that man, Walter Payton, one of the exceptional runners of our time and of all time. And this was a typical Walter Payton run. It can happen at any time when he gets the ball. That's what you'll see tonight. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Chicago Bears.
From Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Chicago Bears. This is Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Fran Tarkenton. And this ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Datsun, where you find that in all the 1981 Datsuns, the greatest economy of all is quality. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
It's a sold-out house at Soldier Field in Chicago. The standings in the NFC Central Division tell you why this is an important game tonight. Atlanta beat Detroit yesterday. Detroit's now in a foot race. Tampa Bay, with a win tonight, would be only one behind. Chicago, which is trailing at the moment, always begins to play well at this time of the year. They proved it the last two seasons. To tell you about those Chicago Bears, here's the Gipper.
And they have been under fire. They have given up 72 points in their last two losses. They were blown out of the tub 38-3 by Pittsburgh last Sunday. Here's Mike Phipps. He'll open at quarterback. He had to be relieved last week, and he might go that way again tonight. There's a question. Should it be Vince Evans or Mike Phipps? But coming back into the lineup tonight, a very versatile athlete, Roland Harper. He has not been in action since 1978. He's had multiple knee surgery, but he gives the Bears a different dimension. A heady, cerebral type of runner, and also a very good blocker for the likes of Walter Payton. He could make a change in an offense that has been sorely sagging here in Chicago. For Tampa Bay, well, they've got an offense there.
Well, they really do, Frank, but they need more big plays, Coach McKay says, and they're going to have to get them from one, Ricky Bell, the fine running back. Last year at this point in the season, Ricky Bell had 56 rushes for 253 yards. This year, Ricky Bell has only rushed the ball 41 times for 134 yards. They need more production out of Ricky Bell. Also on the defensive side of the field, Leroy Selman, the leader of the defense, one of the great defensive ends in football. Last year at this time of the season, he had 6 sacks. This year, only 1 sack. They need more big plays from that big fella, Leroy Selman, and maybe they'll get them tonight. Okay, Gifford, let's get this thing started.
All right, both teams, of course, in the Central Division of the NFC, and both chasing the Detroit Lions and Billy Sims. Detroit falling yesterday 4-1, so Detroit will be looking on tonight. Tampa Bay has won the toss. They've elected to receive to the right. There's a sellout crowd anticipated for tonight, 64,000 plus. The game will be televised in the area. Gary Davis has dropped deep. There he is, number 28. A year ago, he was in a Miami Dolphin uniform. Came just before the start of the season. Bob Thomas will put it in the air and get this game underway for the Chicago Bears. Here's Bob Thomas. We will probably see 2 other Dolphins in action tonight, former Dolphins for Tampa Bay. Tell you about them, Norris Thomas at cornerback and Neil Colsey. Neil Colsey will open up at safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cedric Brown, their fine free safety man, still having troubles with a pulled hamstring. Well, the ball keeps falling off the tee for Bob Thomas. I hope that is not a
augury of things to come.
Well, Frank, the wind is always a factor in this stadium. It is quieter than normal, but it is picking up somewhat. The kicking game will be very important tonight.
Bob Thomas gets it underway. Taken there by Danny Reese. And Danny Reese still at the 20-yard line. Just short of the 20-yard line is Danny Reese. let's meet the offensive unit. Doug Williams, the third-year man out of Grambling, a very gifted athlete. Ricky Bell, the 1,000-yard-plus rusher of a year ago. The wide receivers, short, Isaac Hagens out on the right. And, of course, Jimmy Giles is in a class by himself as far as receivers are concerned in this Tampa Bay offense. Number 88, he can do it all, and this man, Doug Williams, likes to go to Jimmy Giles. Set to go. 1st and 10, Tampa Bay. The motion man is Hagens. And off Ricky Bell. Ricky Bell turns the corner, picks up a quick 5, moving out to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5. And there they are, the front four. Alan Page in there with 7 sacks. That was more than 18 teams in the NFL had in the first 4 games. Those are your linebackers. Tom Hicks in the middle. And, of course, the man that can really hit back there is Doug Plank at free safety. Tampa Bay looking over, a 2nd down and 5 as we were just underway here in Chicago. Very good, lined up in the tailback spot. Ricky Bell, who would really prefer that. As a matter of fact, we had Giles back there and a smashing blow by Alan Page, drifting in from his right defensive tackle position to make the stop.
Interesting thing with what the Bears did on defense that time, Howard. They went with a 5-man defensive line, which is very unusual in professional football. But Buddy Ryan, the defensive coordinator, as we look at John McKay there, likes a multiple defensive set. And they brought in the very talented second-year man, Al Harris, who has high hopes for him here. But 82, Alan Page, who they thought was dead 2 years ago, has come alive here in a Chicago Bear uniform.
There's Neil Armstrong, the coach that Jim Finks plucked from your old team, the Minnesota Vikings.
A loss of 2, 3rd down and 7. Interesting offensive set on that play. Giles in the backfield. He's now a tight end. Williams to the air, going deep. Intended there for his speedy wide receiver, Kevin House. And incomplete. Gary Fencing moving over defensively along with Alan Ellis to make the breakup for Chicago. It'll be 4th down.
And the guy that made that defensive play possible was Jim Osborne. Here's the end of the play. You'll see that the ball is slightly underthrown. But the young quarterback Williams was hit as he was thrown by Jim Osborne, number 68, and that caused the underthrown football.
On the 4th down, we'll see Tom Blanchard for Tampa. Von Lusby, recently acquired from Cincinnati, drops for the Bears. There he is, number 29. Returned punts and kickoffs for the Bengals a year ago. Bears showing the punt rush. They have 10 men at the line of scrimmage.
They're coming after it.
Blanchard hangs it up, gets it to turnover, but it takes the Chicago Bear bounce and is down at the 43-yard line. Hustling down there, Andy Hawkins.
So the Bears begin with excellent field position, Gift.
And they'll bring out Mike Phipps. And, of course, the setbacks. The man I spoke of a moment ago, Roland Harper. He could be tentative. He has not played in over a year. Walter Payton, of course, he is something special. He needs 2 yards to become the 7th leading NFL rusher in the history of this game. There's your offensive unit. You might recognize that name, Robin Earl. A year ago, he was playing as a setback. He has now moved up and starting at tight end. Tell you more about the difficulties the Bears have had at tight end as we move along in the game. 1st and 10. They've marked it at the 44-yard line. Good field position. Quickly, the Spence to Ricky Watts. And down goes Watts. And let's meet the defensive unit. It'll be mostly a 3-4 you'll see tonight, and they've had trouble defensively, oddly enough. This Tampa Bay team that was number 1 in the entire NFL a year ago defensively. David Lewis, he plays that strong outside linebacker, and he'll really give you a pop. There's your secondary and a free safety. We will see Neil Colsey, Cedric Brown with the pulled hamstring in a game that we saw in our first Thursday night game. The opening week of the season could not get back into action tonight. 2nd down and 10. It's Walter Payton, and he explodes out over the 45 to the 49, a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Keep in mind here, Gibb, that the wind again is a factor. It caused that short punt by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As an offensive football team, the Bears have the wind with them. This is the time they've got to really make things work for them. They got to score points when you have the wind with you because it's difficult to move the ball against the wind in the stadium.
Phipps brings the Bears up in 4 games, 46%. He's had 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions. And Walter Payton, with that pickup of 5, has moved into 7th among the all-time NFL rushers. Phipps, no open man, and Phipps is going down. And lines up David Logan. the nose tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right there is an important point. Tampa Bay's defense has been suffering because of the absence of Randy Crowder, and David Logan, inexperienced, hasn't been producing in the manner that Crowder obviously could. If Logan can keep playing that way, improving, he'll shore up that defense in a hurry.
That has to inspire the Tampa Bay defense because they've only had 5 sacks all year. Randy Crowder had 2 of them before he went down with injury, and Logan making that play has got to be a spurt for him.
Bob Parson. High kick that he finds will turn over. Reese is waiting for it at the 10, and it takes a fair bounce. Bears hustling to get down under it. They do not cover. Robert Fisher tried to get his hands on it, number 85. He did not. So the Bears will have possession. They'll begin when we return at the 20-yard line.
This ranch does.
Venerable Soldier Field at Chicago, Illinois. First saw action, sports action here in 1924. Bears have been playing their home games here since 1971. First and 10, Tampa Bay. No score if you just joined us. Isaac Higgins in motion toward you. And the handoff is to Jerry Eckwood. Eckwood trying to find an opening over the left side, and he is buried under a swarm of Bears headed by Dan Hampton, number 99, and Jerry Muckenstern, number 58.
There's Walter Payton, number 7 now among the all-time ground gainers. There's the graphic to show you exactly that, and he's only really just begun. If he can stay healthy, heaven knows he could wind up very close to Jimmy Brown and the Juice.
The rookie wide receiver for Tampa Bay, number 89, Kevin House in the lineup. Split out to the right, second down and 11. Williams with the draw play. Ricky Bell picks up 4. It'll be third down and 8. Ricky Bell this year has not been the force that he was a year ago when he gained over 1,200 yards. Much of it has been that he has played from that fullback spot when he prefers to get into the tailback spot. Tonight we might see the return of Johnny Davis, a good blocking fullback who's been out with a sore ankle for Tampa Bay.
Frank, now we're in a must-pass situation. Williams has got to go against that wind, but he's got a strong enough arm where the wind would bother him less than other quarterbacks.
Third down, long 7. Williams. He can run. He'll have the first down easily. And Williams wisely cruises out of bounds at the 35-yard line. First down, Tampa Bay. We told you he is a gifted athlete. You saw it right there.
It's an interesting fact that Doug Williams is the leading rusher on the Tampa Bay team.
We saw it in our Thursday night game, the opening week of the season, when he pulled the ball down and took it to the 1-yard line on a clutch situation. Tampa Bay, of course, going on to win that game 10-9. But it was Doug Williams who carried them.
That's the man, John McKay, who says that the future of our club is Doug Williams. Billy Nelson next to him, he calls most of the offensive plays.
On first and 10, Johnny Davis is into the lineup. He's the blocker we spoke of a moment ago. He leads Ricky Bell over the right side for a gain of 1.5 yards. It'll be second down and 8. Jerry Muckenstern, defensive left linebacker for the Bears, number 58, in on the stop.
You know, as we've seen the start of this game, there's no question the Bears are an aroused football team. They're playing very hard, very aggressively, and you really see it on the defensive part of the field.
They were slightly embarrassed a week ago by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They opened that game in good stead. They just could not get the points on the scoreboard. Then Bradshaw took over and ran them right out of the ballpark. The Bears lose 38-3. Higgins in motion. Williams on second down and 8. The screen goes to Johnny Davis. And Davis dragged down from behind, out close to the 40-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be third down and 6.
Fran, as you know, Williams doesn't use his wide receivers that much, and they're smallish. Frank noted that. Higgins is 5'9". Jones, who's a good athlete, is only 6 feet. Thus, Jimmy Giles, the tight end, becomes his prime target.
Well, it's been a change.
And his backs.
It's been a change in their philosophy. A year ago, he was throwing the ball deep more, and he only completed 41% of his passes. This year, he's utilizing the backs more. It must be a strategy of John McKay and his offensive staff, and his completion percentage has gone up, and he's really played much better than he did a year ago.
Third down and 6. The ball just inside the 40-yard line of Tampa Bay. The motion man is Ricky Bell. Gary Davis gets the call. Inside handoff over the 40-yard line, short of the first down, out to the 42-yard line. Taken there by Doug Plank. And Mike Hartenstein and Tampa Bay will be forced to punt again.
That's what you call an uncommonly conservative call.
It was. I don't know, again, whether they are worried about the wind that much. I wouldn't on 3rd and 7 in that situation, but obviously they thought they'd get them in a pass rush situation. It is a good pass rushing defense, and try to trap up the middle. It didn't work.
Here's Von Lusby, you just saw a moment ago. Tom Blanchard will be punting for Tampa. A little over a 42-yard average thus far in this young season. The flag is down, and hurrying the punt is Blanchard. Lusby has the ball at the 14-yard line. Another flag goes down as Lusby spins and twists his way out to the 23-yard line. 44-yard punt. Our referee tonight has been bright.
It was an excellent punt, low punt into the wind.
A pair of flags, as I mentioned, down on the field. Ben Dryke is going to work it out with his crew of assistants, and then we'll get the call.
Defense offside.
That gives them a first down, guys.
That will be a first down for Tampa Bay. Fourth down and 4, and Tampa Bay will have their first down out over the 45-yard line of the Chicago Bears. The Bears would like to have some of those faces playing linebacker for them. First down, Tampa Bay.
Defense offside at the first down.
And Chicago 1-3 on this young season. As we look at John McKay, Tampa Bay 2-2. Detroit leading the Central Division of the NFC. They are 4-1. Tampa Bay at their own 46-yard line. Giles moving out of the backfield in motion, and here comes Ricky Bell. Turns the corner, tries to turn the corner, and runs into Gary Fensick and Mike Hartenstein. Gary Fensick, like so many of these Bears, recovering from knee surgery, and he's back in the hitting form that has been his trademark for the last 5 years.
Exactly the point, Frank. You mentioned Doug Blank, who is probably the best hitter that you'd ever want to find in a defensive back outside the likes of Donnie Shell. But in Fensick and Plank, they may have the best tandem of safeties in terms of hitting in the league.
Unfortunately, they've had to do a lot of hitting. That's not what you like to have back there, but they are good. It was a gain of a half a yard. We'll call it second down and 9. Tampa Bay at their own 47. Here's Doug Williams to the outside again. And rifles it downfield. You saw that strong arm. The completion deep downfield going to Gordon Jones. So Tampa Bay has moved across midfield into Bear territory, close to the 35-yard line.
All right, the Bears have as good a pass rushing team as in football. Williams is doing the right thing. He's using his agility. He's getting outside of the rush. He's got a good, clean look down the field, and he throws a perfect strike to Gordon Jones. Takes a strong arm to throw that kind of ball on the run, and he has it.
I tell you, it takes a strong arm. He hung it on a line, off the wrong foot, still had the smoke on it. Jerry Epwood is upended. Gary Fensick, we just spoke about him.
He can do it.
Reading the play, moving up quickly from that strong safety position. He had knee surgery following the Eagles playoff game of last year. He also had surgery on an ankle because of a basketball injury.
What he has is brains. He's an absolutely brilliant young man. Out of Yale.
A good point to note about Fensick. He is their leading tackler coming into this game with 31 tackles in the first 4 weeks.
The rookie Kevin House from Southern Illinois. Split to the right, out to the left is Gordon Jones. The loss of 3, second down 13. The quick toss, Ricky Bell. Ricky Bell down the sidelines, and again it was Fensick in on the stop, but a flag is down. Was it Gary Fensick who studied in your class at Yale, I believe, Howard?
That's true. That's where he got his brains.
I was going to get to that. Maybe a little more subtly. Holding, you saw, indicated against Tampa. Big Charlie Hanna, that 73, out blocking in front of Ricky Bell that time. And he has really come along. His brother, of course, Big John Hanna up in New England.
Holding, offense, number 88.
Jimmy Giles.
Well, many times on a pitch to the outside like that, the tight end has got the toughest block. At that time, they caught Jimmy Giles trying to hold the strong side linebacker, Buccaneers of the Bears.
It'll be second down and 23. The ball now back near the Bears' 49-yard line. Bell, 42. Eckwood, 43. The setbacks for Tampa Bay. Williams puts them both in the pattern and in and out of the hands of Gordon Jones, and that ball was lightning. It'll be third down, 23. Doug Williams came to the Bucs in '78 in a trade of draft picks with Houston. Of course, Houston picked Earl Campbell with Tampa Bay's draft pick that year, and well, the Bucs came away not only with Doug Williams, they got Jimmy Giles in that trade, they got a first and a second, they got a third and a fifth. They put together a football team on the strength of the draft pick that Houston used to draft Earl Campbell. Third and 23. Gary Davis in the lineup, number 28, good receiver. Williams dumps it off to Gary Davis. Flag is down. Davis bobbles the ball, and a Bear has it. I think it's Finsick. Again, a flag is down. Finsick, who's been all over the field.
He really has.
Young game.
And I think it's a holding call. Let's see. It is the Bears' retained possession.
Holding offense, number 72. Decline a penalty. First down.
Ray Snell holding on the play. Gary Finsick very alertly picked up the bobble ball by Gary Davis, and the Bears had field position. They'll be at their own 41 when we come back.
Panasonic calls this VHS recorder Omnivision. I call it Reggie.
The Bucs are here, and we are here, and we're going to be all over the airwaves. Coming up at the baseball playoffs, coming your way. College football on Saturday. We'll tell you more about it. The Bucs used up 6 minutes of the clock on 11 plays on that drive before Gary Davis gave it up to Finsick. The Bears now with the first and 10. The ball at their own 41-yard line. Baschnagel, number 84, wide receiver. Split to the right. You're looking at Mike Phipps, the quarterback. The motion man is Robin Earl. Play action by Phipps. Fires intended for Baschnagel. Incomplete. Curtis Jordan defensively there for Tampa.
The moment Phipps had an incomplete, there was some boos. They're on him here constantly. They've been on Avellini in the past constantly. And they'll even get on Vince Evans, too, if he comes in. They've been waiting a long time for a winner here. They haven't had it since '63, even though they made the playoffs a couple of times in the recent years. So Phipps faces pressure, Frank.
Coming into tonight, Phipps rated last in the top 14 quarterbacks in the first 4 games of this young season. He looks over a Tampa Bay defense on second down and 10. Inside handoff is Roland Harper, and Roland Harper is nailed there by Neil Colsey. Read the play beautifully, stepped into the line of scrimmage along with Cecil Johnson.
Frank, what Neil Colsey did, it was a safety blitz. And a safety blitz is a pretty good defensive strategy when you know they're going to run the football.
He stepped into it more than he read the play, did Neil Colsey, and here is Gary Finsick, who turned the ball over to the Bears.
I said that's a brilliant young man, and so he is. He majored in finance and business at Yale and could have had a top spot in the business world. Wanted to prove to himself he could play in this league, and how he has.
Bears from their own 38, third down, 14. Fitz fires, beautiful strike. Complete out to the 45-yard line to James Scott, and a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Usually where you get the holding call against the offense, and that's what we have.
It's too bad. James Scott.
He threw a beautiful ball in there.
Yes, he did. James Scott is a man to watch. He came out of the World Football League, the late and unlamented one, and he joined the Jets during the brief era of Lou Holtz. Holtz didn't like him. Let's look for the call here.
Holding offense, number 70.
He missed practices. He was late for practices. Holtz took as much as he could bear. But when the Bears got him, he started to come around and showed his real talent. As for Phipps on that throw, Frank, I think Jim Finks, the general manager of the Bears, fell in love with Phipps when he had a very good year with the Cleveland Browns and almost upset Miami in the playoffs in their unbeaten year.
Right now, Phipps has his problems. I would say so. Looks out over a third down and 23. to Walter Payton, who bobbles the football incomplete. Tampa Bay rushes to pick it up, does David Lewis, anticipating that it might be called a lateral. It is not. It'll be 4th down, and Bob Parsons will come on to punt. And you hear the Bluebirds.
There they are. Well, that's not a very gutsy call there. Phipps was not pressured. He had plenty of time to look down the field to find an open receiver. He released too fast out to Walter Payton. As great as Walter Payton is, it would have been hard for Walter Payton to run 25 yards for a first down with that pass.
Here's Bob Parsons. He'll hang it high, and here's Danny Reese. He stationed himself at Tampa's 20-yard line. A little over an 8-yard average thus far this season for Danny Reese. Parsons puts it up in the lights. Reese lets it bounce. I don't know whether he lost it or not. Reese gets back to the 15, and a flag goes down.
Probably a clip.
58-yard punt by Parsons. It appeared as though Danny Reese might have lost it. And the Bear is down at the 10-yard line.
And Tampa Bay is going to have very poor field position.
Otis Wilson, #1 draft pick from Louisville for the Bears, is being treated there at the 10-yard line.
A very important man in the Bears' future.
No penalty. No penalty.
That's a thrown flag, I presume. But I like it. When you make a mistake, you correct it. And that is exactly what happened. Referee Ben Dry says no penalty. And when we come back, Tampa will have the ball at the 15.
This is an all-night.
In Chicago, Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Fran Tarkenton. No score in this young football game. 3:54 remaining in the first quarter. Tampa Bay and the Chicago Bears. The Bucs have the football at the 15-yard line. The Bucs, who almost made it to the Super Bowl a year ago in the 4th year of their existence, losing to the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Williams on 1st and 10. He had a man wide open. It's Higgins. And Higgins, who did a little look in and go. And Terry Schmidt went for it all the way, and Williams overthrew Higgins.
That young man would like to have that throw back. Ike Higgins ran a perfect pattern. He beat Schmidt, as you called, Frank. The ball was just overthrown.
Well, what's interesting is he's beginning to throw to his wide receivers. He started hitting Jones successfully last week against Cleveland, and he's thrown to Jones 3 times tonight so far, and then to Higgins just now.
And the Bears now have a 5-man defensive front.
2 tight ends. Now, Jimmy Giles, 88. Obradovic, 86. In for the Bucs, 2nd down and 10. Reading the blitz, and Williams tries to go to the slant man. Coming across the middle was Gordon Jones, but Dan Hampton got a big hand on him. There's a story about Dan Hampton. Now, he was a first-round draft pick last year for the Bucs, or rather for the Bears, and they got that draft pick from Tampa Bay when they traded Wally Chambers to the Bucs a year ago.
And their plan was to play Hampton inside with Harris from Arizona State outside. They switched that plan. Hampton, because of injuries, they moved Hampton outside. He's been great. Now when they put Harris in, they get the kind of pass rush we saw early.
We see Gary Davis once again for Tampa Bay on the passing situation. 3rd down and 10. The ball at Tampa Bay's 15. Williams under fire. Gets it off to Gary Davis. Short of the first down at the 22, and Tampa Bay must punt again. Defensively, the 5th man in that set backfield for the Bears with Winford Gaines on the stop.
Howard, I am impressed with the Bear defense.
They have come out tonight smoking this team that was really embarrassed a week ago against the Steelers. There is Vaughn Lusby deep for the Bears. Tom Blanchard to punt for Tampa Bay once again. Lusby anticipating the punt of Blanchard at his own 40-yard line for the Bears. Things go as they would like to see them go. Will have good field position. Blanchard puts this up high. Lusby. He doesn't go with the fair catch, and Tampa Bay may have it.
They got it.
I don't know.
There's a mad scramble, and no. A Bear got in there and ripped it out of the arms of a Buck.
Tampa Bay should have had it, Howard.
Yep, it appeared he had it within his grip.
He did, and he let it get away.
Lusby, whom I mentioned a moment ago, returned punts and kickoffs for Cincinnati a year ago. Did not go for the fair catch. And he was hit right there and hit solidly by Tony Davis. And the ball bounded around.
That's the man.
That's the man who should have had it.
And the man who is all over the field for the Bears defensively was right there. And, of course, Doug Plank. He comes up with the fumble recovery, and the Bears have the football at the 45-yard line.
That, of course, that lady is the mayor of Chicago, Jane Byrne. It's been a big day in Chicago. The President of the United States has been here. A lot of traffic, a lot of action all over town.
I wonder if they smiled at each other. They haven't been all that friendly. Bears have the football, 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Oop, and Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Dave Logan, moves off sides. And we spoke to field position thus far in this young game. Chicago has had the ball on their own 44, the 41, and the 45. Tampa's had the ball at their own 20, the 20 once again, and their own 15.
But Tampa,
Encroachment, he made contact.
but Tampa Bay is much dominant in time of possession, as you see there.
And also, Tampa Bay will lose the win in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And as Fran has pointed out, it's quite a factor here in Soldier Field. Still no score, if you just happen to have joined us. To Walter Payton. Payton spinning and twisting, somehow managing 3 yards out of what should have been nothing. Dewey Selman made the stop in. Howard, we got to be proud of our engineers. They're going to be put to the test this week. They're going to be all over the country.
Well, some of them are going to be with me in Philadelphia. Our congratulations to the Houston Astros. Somehow, the spirit of J. Rodney Richard prevailed, and the Astros won the one that counted. So, on Wednesday afternoon, we pick up with the American League playoffs. Tomorrow night, it's in Philadelphia. More on that in a minute.
2nd down and 3 for the Bears. This is Matsui, the rookie out of Penn State, number 2 draft pick. Short of the 1st down by about a yard. It'll be 3rd of a yard.
Point I want to make on the playoffs, Keith Jackson, Don Drysdale, yours truly will be covering the National League, and what a treat for the viewers on the American League, because the announcing team will be Al Michaels, Jim Palmer of the Birds of Baltimore, how he knows the Royals and the Yankees, and then a manager of the year in anybody's book, the man who won 3 straight pennants for the Yankees, Billy Martin.
Out of the field, 3rd down, a long 1 for the Bears. They move into the short yardage formation, the 2 tight ends. Bob Fisher comes in there with Robin Earl. And off is to Suey. And the 5'11", 215-pounder, close to the 1st down.
I think he might have gotten it, but it's tough. A tough 2 yards.
Matt Suey, who put up some pretty good marks at Penn State.
Frank, as we look at the measurement here, the one thing the Bears have had, as you pointed out, they've had field position. But this first quarter is winding down with 1:21 left. They have not threatened the Buck defense yet. And this field position will turn over in the 2nd quarter. The Bucks will probably have good field position.
There's the measurement. It's going to be very close. And Maestrangle, number 84 for the Bears, tells us we've got it. It's 1st and 10. If you look at Neil Armstrong now in his 3rd year, came from Minnesota Vikings. Jim Finks, the former general manager, and your old boss up there, Fran, brought him in.
Neil Armstrong's an excellent football coach, a defensive coordinator for the Vikings for years under Bud Grant. A lot like Bud Grant. Very calm.
Armstrong took over in 78 from Jack Pardee, had a 7-9 record in 78. Last year, 10-6. Went to the playoff, they lost to the Eagles. 1st down and 10, the Bears. Play action by Fitz. Firing. Intended there for James Scott. James Scott was apparently running his own pattern.
Mike Fitz made a bad decision there. He did not read the defense. If he'd have thrown the ball properly, Neil Colsey would have intercepted. He's lucky he threw it over his head.
Ricky Bell.
Interesting there to watch Ricky Bell. He was taken ahead of Tony Dorsett in the draft in 77. And last year, after being pounded around for a few years, he finally exceeded Dorsett by a couple of 100 yards. John McKay, of course, coached Ricky Bell at USC. 2nd down and 10. This is Walter Payton. That is a running football player, Walter Payton.
He really is, Frank, but this year the Bear coaches say the offensive line, which has been a good offensive line for the Bears in years past, they have not played nearly as well this year as they have in the past.
Payton Select 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Peyton thus far this year had 65 yards against Green Bay. He exploded against New Orleans for 183. He had 39 against Minnesota, 60 last week against Pittsburgh.
If they're smart, they'll throw a pass here. It's the last pass they'll get before they go against the wind.
3rd down 4. Final seconds ticking off here in the first quarter with no score. Here comes the safety blitz. Phipps reads it. He had Scott open, and he overthrows. And Phipps knows it better than anyone.
Yep.
He'll have a 4th down.
Nobody said it'd be easy, Michael.
To his credit, he has not had an opportunity really to work much with James Scott, who's been suffering from a hamstring pull. He missed 1 game, nor has he had a chance to work with the second-year man, Ricky Watts, who's had a very sore ankle. He has also missed a game. We see Bob Parsons.
He is a very good corner kicker. Let's see if he can get it inside the 20.
Former quarterback and tight end, I might add, also Bob Parsons. He just hangs it high. Trying to get some of his own folks down there to kill it inside the 5, but they do not. It's a touchback. The Tampa Bay will have possession. They'll have possession once again at their 20-yard line, and the first quarter has expired. So Tampa now will move with the wind. The Bears against it.
At Budget Rent-A-Car, you're number 1.
I'm sure.
Here in Chicago, Tampa Bay has the football. Tampa Bay, now in their 5th year of existence in the National Football League, the Chicago Bears, their 61st year, and Papa Bear of them all, George Hollis, sitting nearby us here in the press box. The Bears struggled through that first quarter with the wind at their back. Williams hands off to Ricky Bell. Bell dragged down by Dan Hampton, the second-year man out of Arkansas. The stats of the first quarter, interesting to say the least.
Yes, very. 1 yard gained by Chicago with the wind at their back. Hardly prepossessing. In the meantime, Tampa Bay not doing much with its opportunities. And the interesting thing about Chicago is they had good field position throughout the quarter. Couldn't do a thing with it. Phipps throwing sidearm, sailed the ball. Did you ever see a sidearm passer who was good?
I saw one great one, Y.A. Tittle.
That's the only
accurate sidearm throw I've ever seen. He was truly accurate.
2nd down and 8. Picked up for 2 by Ricky Bell. Williams fires it out to Higgins, and he leaves it there incomplete. Tampa now going with their 2 tight ends. They've been doing this quite often. They bring in former roommate of George Brett, Jim O'Bradovich, El Segundo High School.
That's
George Brett was a running back.
But the only problem, he can't hit as well as Brett.
I tell you, if we had Bradshaw quarterbacking one of these teams and Zorn the other, we'd have a football game.
You've got really 2 quality teams out here. Both of these teams were co-favorites to win the Central Division title. Chicago's having big problems at quarterback. Williams has played pretty well this year, but tonight he hasn't got him unlocked yet.
And he's had a lot of things happen to him, like you saw in that play a moment ago. A lot of drop footballs. He had many of them against Dallas in a great show 2 weeks ago. On 3rd down and 8. That ball deflected, and it was fortunate for Tampa Bay. It was not picked off. Intended for Jimmy Giles. Williams now 4 of 10, 31 yards. Tampa Bay will punt. Tampa Bay beat Cincinnati in their opener. They beat Los Angeles, and they lost to Dallas, and they lost to Cleveland. The Bears have also lost their last 2, and they've lost by 72 points. 34-14 to Minnesota, 38-3 to the Steelers. Ron Lusby deep for the Bears. The Bears should again have good field position as Lusby stations himself at his own 35-yard line, awaiting the kick from Tom Blanchard. Capacity crowd here at Soldier Field. Not a high kick. Lusby fields it and then steps out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So the Bears again will have good field position. 43-yard punt by Tom Blanchard, and we'll be returning to Chicago in just a moment. Carnival time in Chicago for Monday Night Football. The Bears have the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. No score. Early moments of the second quarter. 1st and 10. Quarterback remains Mike Phipps. Dave Williams, 22. Walter Payton, 34. The setbacks. This is Williams. Williams taken down from behind by Neil Colsey, who made the start tonight. And Tampa Bay has really had their problems defensively because they've been shuffling folks around back there. Cedric Brown, their fine free safety, has been unable to play since the first week of the season. They tried Curtis Jordan at free safety. That weakened them all through their secondary. So now they brought in Neil Colsey to start tonight.
Giff, we talked about being impressed with the Bear defense. I'm also impressed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense. They've only given up like 2 yards and a little over a quarter of play. Can't do much better than that.
Second down and 8. Ricky Watts split out to the right. He wears number 80 for the Bears. And Phipps dumps it off to Payton. And the electrifying run gets out over the 40 to the 42-yard line. It'll be third down and 3.
Bears alumnus Gale Sayers, and what an alumnus he is. Created quite a stir in this town this week. They ran a big story. Sayers criticizes Payton, says he should be catching more passes. The Bears coaching staff has a different view. They don't want Waller catching them in the middle. They feel they'll render him vulnerable to injury.
Well, Howard, I disagree with Gale. I think they should throw the ball to Payton, but he is their leading receiver. He's caught 14 balls in 4 games. You got to have somebody to get the ball to him.
Third down, 3. 42-yard line of the Bears. Phipps will put it up again. And that ball deflected by Bill Puller. Somebody had his arm in there.
Frank, that's when you throw sidearm. The ball starts at a lower trajectory.
There's a look at Bill Collar there, who made that deflection. When you do throw sidearm, you're right, Howard, you'll get more balls blocked, as Phipps did there. The Bears have been completely inept offensively, and Phipps has had some people open. You wonder if Vince Evans is going to get a quicker look than normal.
Bob Parsons to punt. He's been kicking beautifully tonight and often. Danny Reese at the 10-yard line of the Bucks. We've had so many punts already. This will be the third for Parsons. And he puts it up beautifully. Reese again. No fair catch at the 20-yard line. He's piled up there immediately. And Tampa Bay will have the ball once again at the 20-yard line. That's the 4th time thus far in this young game, which still is scoreless, that they have moved on their possession from their 20. Chicago, we have a game about as close as you can get it. 0-0. 12:53 remaining in the first half. Tampa Bay, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Play action by Williams. Williams going deep. The sprint is between Kevin House and Terry Schmidt. The ball overthrown, and wisely so, because Terry Schmidt was with Kevin House all the way.
If we get any scoring, guys, it's going to have to be a defensive touchdown, which brings the point yesterday, which is a wild day in the National Football League. There were 12 touchdowns scored by either the special teams or the defensive team. On all 12 of those touchdowns, they were made by the winning teams in every case. Not a losing team made one of those defensive or special teams plays.
That's John McKay and Bill Nelson with the headset. Bill Nelson, the former quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, calls the plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Isaac Higgins split out to the right as Jimmy Giles, bottom of your screen, opens up from tight end. 2nd and 10. Ricky Bell. And Bell gets a move on one Bear and gets close to a first down. He'll be short at the 30-yard line, however, by about a yard. Terry Schmidt defensively there for the Bears. Doug Williams passing over 52% coming into tonight's game. 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Set Tampa Bay records a week ago in a losing effort against Cleveland. 30 completions out of 56 attempts. Both of those are Tampa Bay marks. 3 touchdowns and 343 yards. So he was very busy last week against Cleveland. 3rd down, about a yard.
Too late. He was open quickly on that kind of play. You got to get him the ball right after you come off the fake. Doug Williams waited too long and he ran out of field. Here it is. Right there, he should be throwing the football. He waited too late. Watch his man run out of field. Jones had to catch the ball going out of bounds.
And 4th down will bring on Tom Blanchard, who's exhausting his right leg. Von Lusby settles in at the 25-yard line for the Bears. Well, yesterday we had 4 block kicks for a touchdown. Off the side of the foot of Blanchard, taken there by Lusby on the dead run. And Lusby puts the Bears again in good field position at the 41-yard line. It's the 7th punt, or rather the 8th punt, thus far of this young ball game tonight. We'll be back at Soldier Field in Chicago right after this message. On the sidelines, head coach John McKay talking it over with his young quarterback, Doug Williams. And out of the field, the Bears once again have that good field position. They've been unable to generate any offense to go with the field position they've had thus far throughout the evening. Have the ball just over the 41-yard line. Both Bear wide receivers split out to the right. Schneider, 84. James Scott, 89. Top of your screen. Robin Earl, 81, is the tight end. Inside handoff, Payton, and he's dead at the 40-yard line. Hustling Tampa Bay defense that has been their trademark over the years. That was Leroy Selman, who has not had really the great year that he did last year, but much of it has had to do with the fact that he gets a lot of attention whenever they run his direction.
But he's still leading this team in tackles. Going into this game, he'd made 28 tackles in the 4 games.
We are advised that Lusby, who went out earlier, suffered a twisted left knee. Not able to see him again remains to be determined.
Lusby, of course, the return man for the Bears. 2nd down and 11. There was a loss of 1 on that play by Leroy Selman. Fitz, tight end, open over the middle, and this is Bob Fisher. Fisher takes the ball inside the 40-yard line. The rookie from SMU was such a surprise for the Bears this year as a 12th-round draft pick.
Yes, that's the point. He was a 12th-round draft choice they didn't know they were getting. So fine a young player. They're frank to admit it.
All right, we've said Phipps has thrown some bad balls. That was a very fine pass and a good reception by that man, Robert Fisher.
That troubles. They had to put Mike Cobb at tight end on the injured reserve tonight. He's in the hospital with pneumonia. Greg Latta has a broken hand. He broke that in preseason play, so he is unavailable. So you just saw the rookie Bob Fisher from SMU give the Bears a 1st down. This is Walter Payton. And Payton runs into a crowd of Bucks.
What a fellow named Lewis.
Yes.
David Lewis.
David Lewis. Big, strong, fast, everything you want for a strong outside linebacker, particularly on that left side where most teams run right at him. He's 6'4", 245-pounder, and like so many of these Bucks, played for John McKay. Played for John in his last year at USC, 75.
McKay makes the point that he can play the 34 defense with Lewis because, in effect, it's a 43 when you got Lewis and he can make it that instant.
2nd down and 9. 3 wide receivers for the Bears. Scott, Watts, Boschnagel. Fitz fires incomplete out to Dave Williams. It'll be 3rd down, long yardage.
That's what you call hearing the footsteps.
Yep. Dave Williams should have caught the ball. Well thrown ball by Phipps. Williams dropped it.
Williams playing, I might add, with a very sore hip pointer tonight.
You know, Giff, they started rolling Harper, but they're really not playing him very much. Williams has played most of the game. Matt Suey's come in some. You wonder if Harper's really right yet.
No, Frank said at the beginning he'd likely be tentative.
3rd down and 9. Scott, the speedy one, goes far out to the right for the Bears. Boschnagel split out to the left. The big tight end, Bob Fisher, opens up, bottom of your screen. Fitz in a heap of trouble. Somehow he gets it off to Walter Payton. And Payton struggles and finally goes down in the arms of Curtis Gordon, short of the 1st down. And now the Bears will have to punt.
I tell you, you should take another look.
And
it was a dangerous effort, but a splendid one.
Great effort by Phipps. David Lewis has got him. Gets it off to Payton. Now watch the play by 25, Curtis Jordan. He really makes some play to keep Payton from making the 1st down.
Hey, right now, the Bears are a little undecided as to what to do, so Brian Boschnagel calls timeout. Out of the field is 4th down and 4, and the Bears have called timeout. They appeared as though they were going to go for a 4th and 4 with the ball at the 33-yard line, the 34-yard line of Tampa Bay. Now there's a hesitation. A timeout has been called. Here's Phipps with Armstrong. Mike Phipps comes back out on the field. Keep in mind it's 4th down and 4. The Bears apparently going to go for it. And also keep in mind they could be trying to draw Tampa Bay off sides.
I would think
5-yard offside penalty would give them a first down.
And they'll probably have to throw it if they're going to have any chance of getting it.
It's back and looking. Fires and it's complete. Scott has the first down at the 21-yard line.
All right,
He was really open.
And Phipps completed that ball under a lot of pressure. He's thrown 3 or 4 straight good passes. Here he goes. There's a blitz on. You'll see the linebacker coming to his face. He hangs in there, gets the ball out to Scott on time. Scott had his man beaten easily.
Mike Washington, the cornerback, who in a blitz situation, as all cornerbacks know, he will be man for man. And he laid a little off, and Scott made the square out move, got the Bear first down. Bears deepest penetration. Phipps now 5 of 11, 44 yards. Walter Payton. Payton squeezes out a couple, maybe 3. It'll be second down at 7. And we're going to pause 5 seconds right now and allow our local stations around the country tell you who's bringing you the football game.
WLS TV Chicago.
8:20 and the clock is moving. Remaining in the first half from Soldier Field in Chicago. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Fran Tarkenton. Seesaw battle between the 20-yard lines of both of these teams. The Bears now with their deepest penetration. They have a second down and 7. No score, of course. Ball at the 17-yard line. Big toss. This is Williams, Dave Williams. Williams turns the corner and taken down from behind. Short of a first down. Out there quickly was Leroy Selman after he spun off a block.
You had to figure that after the Bears on 6 possessions and had excellent field position, sooner or later, even with all their offensive frailties, they would have a scoring opportunity. It's finally come about.
Bob Thomas, field goal kicker for the Bears, loosening his leg in anticipation that he may be needed.
Now,
out of the field, third down, a long yard for the Bears.
In this situation, you got to figure you've got 2 downs to make it. Another timeout. This is unforgivable. You don't use up your timeouts in the middle of the game. Well, I think the Bears have now used up 2 timeouts.
They only have 1 left. This is not what you expect in professional football.
So Phipps will move over and visit with Neil Armstrong, and we'll have a chance to tell you about college football coming your way on this big week of sports here at ABC. Be sure to join us Saturday, as it'll be Oklahoma and undefeated Texas going against one another, one of college football's richest traditions, and of course from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. The unbeaten Longhorns are led by a flashy running back, A.J. Jan Jones, who has rushed for over 100 yards in each game thus far in 1980. He's also tied for the nation's lead in scoring. They'll face the Oklahoma Sooners, whose explosive attack ran up, would you believe this, 82 points against Colorado in Boulder on Saturday. So that's Oklahoma and Texas Saturday. College football, 12:30 Eastern time right here on the station of sports ABC. We're going to be busy testing even the unbelievable mettle of the technicians that have brought you so many spectacular events over the years. John McKay looking out at his defensive unit. 7:12 remaining in the half. There is no score, and the Bears have a third, and we'll call it a long yard for the first. Short yardage offense. That means the 2 big tight ends are in. Payton and Williams are the setbacks. Walter Payton. What a hands off a couple of Tampa Bay Bucks and gets the first down. Well, now that will depend on where they mark it.
If he made it, which I think he did, it was all Walter Payton. He was hit before he got to the line of scrimmage, but through sheer effort.
I'll tell you, they marked it further back than I thought they would. I don't believe
I'm not sure he made it.
All right, if he doesn't, it'll be an interesting decision that Armstrong's got to make here. Does he take the 3 or does he go for it? Let's see if he has to make that decision.
No. Phipps takes a timeout, comes over to find out.
Now easy.
All right.
And Payton, who had made contact, obviously a knee touched the ground, and they marked it back.
All right, they're going for it. skiff, and they're putting their big blocking fullback Harper into the game. And you know who's going to get the ball. The world knows who's going to get the ball. It's going to be 34, Sweetness, Walter Payton.
Here's the play, is brought in by Roland Harper.
They got to be coming left.
Hits, first down.
How do you like that? Well, the world knew it, but Fitz knew he was going to carry it.
First down, Chicago. Inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal.
Good call by Neil Armstrong to go for it. That was a good decision. Even if he hadn't made it, it was a good decision.
Mike Fitz, who joined these Bears in '77 from the Cleveland Browns, as Howard mentioned earlier.
It is the toughest place to have the ball, the 9 and the 3/4 yard line to get in. I always thought in this situation you're better to pass the ball 3 times.
56 yards they've gained.
Bears come firing out of the huddle. Walter Payton.
Well, they should have
And a swarming gang tackling bunch of Bucks headed by Richard Wood. They stop Walter Payton for a loss.
Now you put yourself in a very difficult offensive position.
Yes, indeed, to put it mildly.
There's not much room down there to throw the ball anyway, and now with 2nd and 12, you got to throw, and the defense knows you got to throw. It's tough.
Tampa Bay has traditionally defensed Peyton better than any other team in the league.
Yep. Now the thing the Bears don't want to do here is turn the ball over. Get your sure 3. You can get a touchdown, fine, but don't lose the ball.
Loss of 2, second and goal at the 12. Fitz. Incomplete.
That's the sidearm again. That's why you'll see so many of his passes batted down.
That's the size of David Lewis. He put that big arm up. He's 6'4".
Great players make great plays. David Lewis, you saw, just made one there.
It'll be 3rd down and 12. Robin Earl brings the play in. They'll have to bring it in quickly. The Bears have already expended 2 of their 3 timeouts.
Well, if he's going to score, he's got to throw it to the end zone. There ain't no first down to be made.
Here comes the blitz.
My goodness.
And Payton, who wanted to reverse the ball, I do believe, had to keep it because Ricky Watts was caught in the middle of that blitz and he could not give it to Watts.
How can you boo Phipps on that? The play was sent in. You got to boo Bill Nelson.
There's no booing. That was a great defensive call at just the right time. They got their safety blitz right in the middle of a reverse.
Yes, but on 3rd and long, you're going to have an outside pass rush, Skiff. That's the hardest time to make a reverse work.
4th down, and here is Bob Thomas.
They're lucky they didn't fall out of field goal position.
Walter Payton made a great play by not trying to hand the ball off.
30-yard attempt. Thomas, who is 5 out of 6 for the year, is now 6 out of 7 for the year, and the Bears are on the scoreboard. Bears leading the Bucks 3-0 with 4:37 remaining in the first half. 1 goose egg is erased. More than 7 minutes on a 13-play drive before settling for 3 points. They lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3-0. Set to kick off Bob Thomas. Deep for Tampa Bay is Gary Davis. Thomas, not a long kicker. Gary Davis will take it at the 10. Gary Davis around the corner. And Gary Davis brings Tampa Bay out close to their own 45-yard line before Robert Fisher made the stop.
I respect this player, Gary Davis. He's from Cal Poly in Louis Obispo in California. He was one of those Bobby Beathard lower-round draft choice specials with Miami. He appeared on the verge of becoming one of the stick-out running backs in the league, and he can catch the ball, too. For some reason, Shula soured on him and unloaded him.
Gary Davis came with Norris Thomas at cornerback from Miami just before the season started. This is Eckwood. Well, this is Eckwood picks up a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This is far and away the finest field position, the only good field position that Tampa Bay has had.
That's right.
Let's see if they can do anything with it.
They put up a nice fence for Davis, and he used it well.
Yes, he did.
There's Walter.
Must be frustrating frustrating for such a great running back.
Look at that. Peyton, 9 rushes, 11 yards. That's not sweetness.
Well, he's doing everything he can do, but he's got to have a little bit of help to do any better.
Kevin House, the rookie, number 89 from Southern Illinois, comes in for Tampa Bay on the 2nd down and 8. And off Eckwood, and Eckwood finds an opening, and Eckwood has a first down at the Bears' 45-yard line before taken there by Gary Fencing.
Now Williams has 3:30 to go. Let's see how he uses the clock, and let's see if he can drive them down and in.
Well, there's a fine athlete, Eckwood. Not only is he a gifted runner, as you see right there, but he set a club record catching 10 of Doug Williams' passes a week ago against Cleveland. First Tampa Bay first down of this quarter, and we have 3:13 remaining. Ball just inside the Bears' 45-yard line. Williams with play action. Has the time, and he fires, and again is dropped by Gordon Jones.
Well, I'll tell you, Williams did a superb job there. He waited for Gordon Jones to uncover. He delivered a perfect ball, but the quarterbacks need ends to catch it. They can't do both. Gordon Jones just dropped it.
I'll tell you, this has been happening to Doug Williams, not only all the first 4 games they've been played, but also over last year.
And people are saying he throws it too hard. I don't believe you can throw the ball too hard. That ball was catchable. Professional ends supposed to catch the ball soft or hard.
Well, he got his worst breaks in the Dallas game.
2nd down and 10. Bottom of your screen, that's Timmy Giles. Under pressure, and Williams tries to dump it off to Eckwood. The blitz was on. Otis Wilson, the rookie from Louisville, number 1 draft pick.
And Doug
For the
saying,
Bears in there pressuring Williams.
Doug saying, Coach, it's hard to throw from the seat of your pants. Watch it here. I've never seen a quarterback throw from the seat of his pants. This is not Williams' fault. He's back in the pocket trying to throw. You see the pressure. The pocket is just caving in. He tries to get the ball out, release it sooner than he'd like to, and then he hits the ground. Alan Page made the pressure.
Otis Wilson. Where's that 55? The Doug Buffone. Wore for 14 years for the Bears. They both hail from Louisville. 3rd and 10. Higgins in motion.
Williams got a man.
And Jones gets the rebound and holds on inside the 25-yard line. Well, this time Gordon Jones took quite a lick. He came up with the football and held on for a Bear first down at the 23.
And watch this here. Terry Schmidt, 44, makes a great play. He's beaten by Gordon Jones. He jumps out in front, tips the ball up, but Gordon Jones, with good concentration, made up for his drop. He caught it, and then he got hit by Mr. Plank.
That was concentration because Plank really pounded Gordon Jones, and yet he held on to the football. Plank shaken up, but he's up on his feet once again. 1st and 10. 22-yard line, they mark it at the Bears. Giles, his first reception of the night. Giles down at the 12-yard line, a gain of 4. And this is Darryl Stingley visiting here tonight. Of course, Chicago, Darryl Stingley's hometown. We saw him a couple of weeks ago when he was up in New England for the New England Clipper game. Good to see you, Darryl. Glad to see you getting around. We'll be back with more football, but right now we have a message from the National Football League. Stay with us.
Woes of a coach.
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong to the moon.
Well, what can I tell you? He was also 10-6 and got in the playoffs a year ago. This drive started for Tampa Bay at their own 44-yard line. This will be the 7th play, and Doug Williams will bring the Bucs up with a 2nd down and 6.
It's a good-looking drive they got going here.
Here's Eckwood, and Eckwood gets inside the 15, down around the 13-yard line, short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down on long 1.
Williams in the same situation Phipps in. They want the touchdown, but you don't want to give it up on a turnover here as this first half is closing down. You want the sure three. If you can, touchdown is fine.
Seconds ticking away. Tampa Bay, however, has 3 timeouts. Inside a minute and a half remaining in the first half. Ricky Bell, the left side. Struggles and surges forward, close to a first down. Again, it will be where the officials determine his momentum carried him. Clock stops with 1:15 as Garo Yepremian warms up on the sidelines.
The milliner.
Well, McKay may have the same decision that Armstrong did. If it's short, does he go for the first down like Armstrong did, or does he kick the field goal?
Short by inches.
It's the exact same decision.
Interesting, isn't it?
It is. The Bears went for it. Let's see what they do.
Minute 15 to go.
All right, Bill Nelson's calling the play there. He sends it in.
Bill Nelson sends the play in. Gordon Jones brings the ball in.
All right, Bill's quarterback sneaked it. You got a big quarterback here. Will he do the same thing? I will not be surprised to see Williams keeping himself and sneaking.
103. And it's moving.
And I don't know.
Williams tried to go for it. Again, he only had to make inches.
They have lost the ball.
Yeah, but I think his initial progress got the first down. Let's see if they give it to him.
Williams is complaining they're not marking it where his progress was. We'll have another measurement.
I think it's the toughest decision a referee has to try to figure out where to mark that football.
First down, Tampa.
59 seconds left.
And again, the 3 timeouts still in hand for Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay will use one of those timeouts. You saw John McKay indicate to Doug Williams, let's use one of them, talk it over, get ourselves pulled together. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
There's a timeout on the field.
A lot of injuries yesterday. It's our duty to report them. Washington, Terry Hermeling, a concussion, questionable for next week. The Giants, Alvin Garrett, bruised hip, questionable. Oh, and as we turn to the graphic, Isaac Curtis, strained back. Pittsburgh, Lynn Swan, cracked rib. Oakland, a terrible thing. Pastorini, broken leg, and also cartilage damage in the knee. New Orleans, Manning, a muscle pull. Buffalo, Nixon, the fine defensive back, knee injury. Cush, knee injury. Jets, Gaines, broken leg. That's terrible. Sprained shoulder for Ryan, the backup quarterback.
Sounds like a critique of MASH.
Well, they come in bunches, don't they? It's the first week we really had that big an injury report. With 2 broken legs. That's too bad.
Doug Williams has been fortified with the knowledge from the bench. He moves out onto the field. Ball again. At the 12-yard line, 54 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Bucs down by 3.
And if you're going to throw the first down, the time to throw here.
For Giles, touchdown, but a flag is down. Jimmy Giles coming off the line of scrimmage. Both wide receivers have been placed to the left. Giles made a good drive into the end zone.
But it was a smart call. The holder coming against the Bucs, but Howard's a smart call because first down's the best time to throw the ball in that part of the field.
And second down, too.
The first down especially. That's too bad for the Bucs. Good break for the Bears.
Holding offense number 50.
At the center, Steve Wilson, who, by the way, is playing with a broken finger on his left hand. And it obviously would be causing him trouble. And he is detected holding. First and 20, 49 seconds remaining. Ball at the 22-yard line.
Well, he's got to throw now.
Williams has to get rid of it early. Tries to go to Ricky Bell, incomplete. Jerry Muckenstern.
This game is not an advertisement for the National Football League.
But I want to talk about 82, Alan Page.
Oh, he was there, wasn't he?
Pressured him again, and he's playing just as good a football as he's ever played in his life. And that's about as good as any defensive tackle can play.
You know, he started his 188th consecutive game tonight.
Amazing football player.
And he weighs 200 and what, 28?
228 right now. He came into the league really about 270. He's a marathon runner now, but he's some kind of football player.
single setback for Tampa. Williams intended for Giles, incomplete. Defensively back there. Tom Hicks, the middle linebacker, number 54 for the Bears. And another holding call, again indicated against Tampa Bay.
Well, if it's against Tampa Bay, you're premium.
They got to accept the holding call, although it'd make it third down and 20 or so without it. I think they got to accept it, push him back.
Now your premium may be close to out of his range.
And the thing he's got going for him, keep in mind, he's got a good, strong wind behind him.
Holding offense, number 61.
I told him to give up the tie business and go into the hat business.
Greg Roberts, the right guard for Tampa Bay, holding this time.
But if they don't do any better than where they are right now, he would have to kick the ball 49 yards. And even with the trailing wind, that's tough for you, Chris.
Ball now at the 32-yard line. 39 seconds on the clock.
What's important now is not so much the touchdown, but to get the ball 10 to 12 yards down the field to give Permian a better shot at it.
Down, of course, remain the same, 2nd and 30. Intended for Isaac Higgins. No, he was out of bounds. And Williams again holding on to the last possible moment before releasing it. He gets pounded.
He is taking a pounding, and that's going to tell on him too. As big as he is and as strong as he is.
Here goes Doug back in the pocket. He's trying to hit Higgins down the field. The deep pattern takes a lot of pass protection, which they don't get. Big Hampton comes in and gently puts him to the ground.
33 seconds now. 3rd down, 30.
You'd like to see him throw an intermediate pass here. 10 to 12-yard pass is really what he needs to do.
Kevin House, the rookie from Southern Illinois, in there for Tampa Bay. Incomplete. And he's headed for Jimmy Giles, and Bruce Herron was back there defensively, and Doug Williams is claiming he should see a flag.
But Doug Williams is wrong. He should have intercepted the ball. He dropped the pass.
Doug Williams complaining he should have had pass interference.
Here we are from the end zone. Williams goes back. Got pretty good protection this time. He's going down the middle to his tight end Giles. Watch Herron there. Come to the screen. He had a chance at the interception. There was no interference there at all. That's Doug Plank, 46. That could have been noise around.
That could have been what Doug Williams was complaining about. Late hit by Plank against Jimmy Giles, who, of course, very close friend, and Doug Williams, #1 receiver. Now out comes Garo Yepremian.
You'll remember they got a break on a controversial interference call against Los Angeles, and that's the way they beat the Rams. But you don't get those every game.
No, Doug Plank did not make a bad play. He had to hit him. He didn't know whether he caught it or not. There wasn't the referees were absolutely right. And now we got Yepremian with the wind at his back, 49 yards.
Tampa Bay down to 1 timeout. Garo Yepremian, he's setting up what appears to be a 49-yard field goal attempt. I don't know whether Garo still has that in that leg. Has been kicking for some 13 years. But he's out there looking confident.
Well, against the Rams in our Thursday night game, he made one from what, 40? He made one from 45 or so without a wind at his back.
43 against the Rams. Hit the crossbar, I might add.
Yep. So
Giles being administered to there.
This win is worth 6 yards to him, so he's got enough leg to make it.
Garo Yepremian, 12 of 16 last year in New Orleans. Had been 9 years in Miami. He was 3 years in Detroit. And now in the uniform of Tampa Bay.
All right, here's the play. You see Herron make almost the interception. Here's Plank. And he spares him.
I think that maybe Williams had a legitimate complaint. It was late. It was sparing. All the things that we're not doing anymore in pro football. Block. Garo Yepremian. Of course, he would have to have a very low trajectory to make a 49-yard field goal, and the Bears block it.
Flag on the field.
Flag is down. They believe that flag was thrown after the ball was blocked and was bounding around.
It'll be an interesting call right here.
Unsportsmanlike, number 1, kicking the ball deliberately. Kicking the ball.
Now your Premium got a double hit.
Well, let's watch the penalty here. The ball's already been blocked, and your Premium kicks it again. And that's a no-no. You cannot do that, Garrow.
Well, at least he didn't try to pass it. He's forgotten his Super Bowl antics.
Well, what this will probably do is give the Bears a chance to get in field goal position.
But the fact that they used their 2 timeouts gives them just 1 remaining. They mark it off. The unsportsmanlike call against Gary Premium.
Now, Thomas has better range than your Premium. If Phipps can pull off a 20-yard gain here, 18-yard gain, they've got a shot for a field goal.
The penalty puts the ball at the Bears' 47-yard line. 20 seconds remaining. The Bears have 1 timeout.
They
lead 3-0.
What was interesting, they said they declined the penalty. So I guess if they had accepted the penalty, they'd had a chance to kick over. But that doesn't seem right.
That's good.
You would think that they'd be able to add the penalty since it happened after the play. They'd add the penalty right into this position of the field. The referees, I'm sure, know better than we do up here.
Ricky Watts split out to the right, top of your screen. Speedy youngster from Tulsa, James Scott, split to the left. Phipps, Scott. Scott kills the clock.
Now that's it. They got their
34-yard line. 12 seconds remaining.
That was a smart play by James Scott. We got a stuff on the sideline.
Mike Washington took a shot at James Scott.
Did they throw a flag? If it is, that's a big critical penalty.
Tippers flaring here.
There's no flag.
And the ball has been marked inside the 33.
Here comes Scott. He does a smart thing, gets the ball, comes out of bounds. Let's watch it. Let's watch this. I still don't see it.
Comes very late. There is Washington, number 40. Shoved Scott.
Well, one more completion and they're in field goal territory. They got 1 timeout left.
12 seconds. Screen to Walter Payton. Payton sees that he cannot move downfield. This time there will be a penalty.
And that is a critical penalty.
Cecil Johnson hurling Walter Payton to the artificial turf.
This team has lost its discipline. It's lost its head. It is not showing any kind of leadership.
All that penalty did was get the field goal territory. And they weren't where they were. All right, here comes Sweetness. Cecil Johnson, 56. He threw him down way out of bounds. Good call.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 54 on the defense. First down.
I believe they had that number wrong. It was number 56.
If you're right again.
Ball inside the 16-yard line. And remember where we were a few seconds ago on the clock? Tampa Bay.
Well, this is an interesting
Going
play.
for a score.
7 seconds left. They better do it quick so they have a chance to kick a field goal. Obviously, he's going to throw to the end zone, I would think.
And Mike Phipps throws it away. 3 seconds on the clock. And we will see the field goal team coming out for Chicago. Bob Thomas. There he is.
That, my friends, was a good, smart throw by Phipps. He didn't have him open. He got rid of it quickly.
You take a chance. Had he been wide open, Phipps would have tried to get it in for 6. When he saw that it would be even close, he did not try to force it. Stop the clock at 3 seconds. Thomas has already hit from 30 yards out. This attempt from 32. No. Time has expired here in the first half. And not one of the more crisply played games you'll ever watch. The Bears lead the field with the 3-0 lead over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bob Thomas missing from 32 yards out. Stay tuned for halftime activities.
Back at Soldier Field, Chicago, live the halftime score in a very dull and sloppily played game. Chicago 3, Tampa Bay nothing. Now we're going to go to a new procedure wherein we show you in different categories the key plays that occurred on NFL gridirons yesterday. Plays selected by our producer and director, Bob Goodrich and Chet Forty. Our halftime features are being brought to you by Merrill Lynch. Imagination, instinct, and versatility make Merrill Lynch a breed apart. For the best passing performance of the day, it was Vince Ferragamo, quarterback, L.A. Rams. This year he's completed 70 of 98 passes, 8 touchdowns. Here were 2 of the 4 he scored yesterday. That one to Cullen Bryant. 20 yards and a TD. He didn't stop there. The Rams built up a 20-7 lead. And then Ferragamo went to further work. A fake to Elvis Peacock, and then the toss to Willie Miller, number 82. A great day for Vince Ferragamo. For the best rushing performance of the day, who else but Franco Harris, number 32, Pittsburgh Steelers. His first 100-yard game of the season, 102 yards on 22 carries. This was a dash for 15 yards as he broke loose on the left side. Just part of a most productive day. On this play, you will see Franco burst off Matt Blair, number 59, for a touchdown. He's now tied with Leroy Kelly on the all-time NFL list, 74 rushing touchdowns. Detroit at Atlanta for the most unusual play of the day. The Falcons were leading 7-3 in the first quarter, and Buddy Curry, the rookie from North Carolina, came through. Danielson lost the ball. Nobody knew where it was except for Buddy Curry, and there went number 50 all the way downfield, 30 yards. Touch for the defensive performance. Who else but number 53, Randy Gradishaw, the great one from Ohio State with the Denver Broncos. 48 seconds left in the first half. Cleveland ahead 10-6. Sipe rolling left, looking to pass. Throws, unfortunately for him. Gradishaw bats it down, 57. Tommy Jackson knocks it up into Gradishaw's hands. And Randy goes 93 yards for the touchdown, and never before had Denver had an interception return that long. The defensive performance of the day, Randy Gradishaw of the Denver Broncos, who went on to a key victory to keep their hopes alive in the AFC West, beating Cleveland 19-16. Bart Starr, a Lombardi disciple. Forrest Gregg, a Lombardi disciple. Cincinnati at Green Bay, Lambeau Field, first quarter. Cincinnati leading 6-0. But Lynn Dickey, who wanted to retire 2 weeks ago, hit James Lofton for a touchdown, and the Pack was back 7-6 leading. Then in the second quarter, the same Lynn Dickey having his best day of the year by far to Steve Atkins, the fine one from Maryland. Atkins poured in. Green Bay held on to win 14-9. Chuck Knox, the astonishing coach of the Buffalo Bills. The Bills at San Diego, the battle of unbeatens. The Bills down by 12 in the fourth quarter. And here, Rick Partridge, 17, couldn't get off the punt, down by Rod Cush, the first-year safety. And so Joe Ferguson was equipped to go to work just 4 plays later. 4th and 3 at the Chargers 9. He hit Mark Brammer, touchdown. It was 24-19 San Diego. On the Chargers, next play from scrimmage, 1st and 10, their own 21. Fouts, play action pass intended for Johnny Jefferson, but watch. 55, Jim Haslett picks it off, and he comes downfield 17 yards before being brought down by number 80, the tight end, Winslow. Kellen with the tackle. The turnover set up the winning touchdown. Here, Second and goal, the Chargers 3. Ferguson, the Cribbs. Joe Cribbs, the brilliant rookie from Auburn, in for the score. And so Buffalo had pulled another miracle. 26-24. The Bills, the only unbeaten team in the NFL. Live at Soldier Field, Chicago, the Bears, halftime leaders, 3-0 over the Buccaneers. In the meantime, as I guess everybody in America knows, this afternoon at Dodger Stadium, the Houston Astros won their first Western Division pennant ever. They beat the Los Angeles Dodgers by a score of 7-1. Our congratulations to them. Let's look at today's highlights. They played 162 games, each team did. It came down to one game this afternoon. Dave Goltz on the mound for the Dodgers. Top of the first, Terry Poole batting for Houston. Poole hit a simple ground ball to Lopes, who let the ball play him. Poole was on first, moved to third on a Cabell single, and then Cruz hit this simple grounder to Hatcher, who he threw home. Apparently an easy out. Ferguson blew the play, 2 errors, 1 run in. They scored another run in the inning, 2-0 Houston. Then, in the top of the third, 2 outs. Cesar Cedeno up, singled up the middle. That brought up the young man who's been the Astros' hottest hitter down the stretch run. Ard Howe, the name. Didn't even break into baseball till he was 25. Howe got a hanging slider, pummeled it to left center. Forget it, it was gone. 4-0 Houston. And it appeared there would be even more in that top of the fourth, but it turned out that there wouldn't be. Watch closely. Alan Ashby was on first. Craig Reynolds up. Hit that shot to right center. Watch Rick Monday. A remarkable pick off of the ball and an equally remarkable relay to Lopes. Lopes a perfect throw home. And, of course, the runner was easily out. But look at Ferguson needlessly kneeing the runner. And that provoked tempers, and that provoked a near free-for-all. But the umpires prevailed. This was Terry Poole again. It was in the top of the fourth. A perfect bunt. It was a base hit. He stole second, got to third. Cabell and Morgan walked. Jose Cruz at the plate. Bases filled. Dodgers in deep trouble. And a long blast to left center. It appeared to be in the gap, but not with Rick Monday. He played sensationally all day in center field. Made that catch. That made it 5-0. And more would be heard from Mr. Howe. Up again with the bases clogged. Broken bat single up the middle, and that made it 7-0. From then on, it was an absolute cakewalk for the Houston Astros. Joey Negro, the brother of the more famous Phil, had himself a ball. Frustration registered in the Dodgers' faces after their great comeback, but Houston had won.
I think it's a big risk to have Reagan as president. Reagan scares me.
Surprise registered against the Houston Oilers yesterday by the Seattle Seahawks. And as we pick up the action, it was in the second quarter, 13-0 Seattle. Houston's ball, first and 10, their own 19. Stabler throwing long for number 86, Mike Barber, but no. The ball was picked off by number 22, Dave Brown, out of Michigan, once a Pittsburgh first-round draft choice. Brought all the way back till he was felled by Earl Campbell. After that, 3 plays later, Seattle's ball. Jim Zorn back, looking downfield, hitting one of Fran Tarkenton's former receivers, Sam McCullum. So Seattle went on to pour it on Houston, 26-7. Really a big upset that was. And there is Mike Phipps. We're back live, getting ready for the second half, getting his tonsils in order, struggling to achieve some degree of posture. In a now sinking seat is Frank Gifford.
Am I doing all of that over here? All right, Tampa Bay will kick off. Dropping deep is Dave Williams. He moves back for the Chicago Bears. As you look at the stats, the Bears had prime field position throughout the first half. They were only able to negotiate 3 points. Williams waits for the ball at the 3. And here comes Dave Williams. Dave Williams makes the corner. And with an empty cutback, gets out over to the 40-yard line. And the Bears once again will have good field position. A pickup of 36 yards as we anticipate the return of Mike Phipps along with Dave Williams. One setback in Walter Payton, wide receivers. We saw Brian Bashnagel, number 84, Ricky Watts, number 80, and James Scott, number 89. They were alternating. Our tight end has been mostly Robin Earl. Defensively, Wilton, Fuller, Leroy Salmon, That's the front three for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The linebackers are Johnson, Wood, Dewey Selman, and David Lewis. We'll set the secondary in a moment. Roland Harper now stays in rather than Dave Williams. Harper opened this game after a year's absence. And Harper, it is Harper getting the call, and Harper finds an opening in, picks up 5 yards, and do 2nd and 5.
Jeff, I cannot tell you what a big return Dave Williams gave the Chicago Bears. They're going into this strong win tonight. He established field position for them right off the bat in the 3rd quarter by returning the kickoff back to the 40-yard line.
And once again, they had good field position in the first half. The Bears had 6 possessions, all of them from the 36 or better. As I said, they got only 3 points. Tampa also had 6 possessions. The best they had was from their own 44, and they had a field goal block after a drive that failed. 2nd and 5. Walter Payton. Payton just on brute strength. Gets inside Buck territory. It'll be a Bear first down. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Fran Tarkin in Bearsville. And as you look down and see these Bears, it's fun to recall the many great players that have performed in this block, the traditional block of the Bears. We talked with one today, Howard Sid Luckman. Sid, of course, recalling some of the great years. Bears hoping that their 10-6 record of a year ago is an indicator of things to come. They've been struggling. They're in the first part of the season, 1-3 coming into tonight. Tampa Bay 2-2. On 1st and 10, Phipps to the air. The ball dropped by Robin Earl. Took his eyes off it. It'll be 2nd and 10. Robin Earl once again in their tight end. He was a running back his previous 3 years.
That's one of the most common things you'll see. Tight ends and fullbacks interchangeable. You remember Hewitt Dixon with Oakland had been a tight end, became a punishing fullback. Robin Earl started as a fullback, now moves in at tight end, an excellent blocker, but not the best receiver in the world, as he just gave evidence.
Bob Fisher comes in, so we have 2 tight ends. Bob Fisher, 85, the rookie from SMU. He had a spectacular catch in the first half. Single setback, that's Walter Payton. 2nd and 10, the draw call. Payton just explodes to a little opening, short of the first down around the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Well, they look enthusiastic, I'll say that, Fred.
They're coming out good. And Howard, you made the point earlier in this telecast that last year the Bears started the season with 3 wins and 5 losses, and yet ended up 10-6 and in the playoffs. This year they started 1-3. They're slow starters.
Ball marked inside the 43-yard line of the Bucks. James Scott put out to the right on this Bears call. The first down. Roland Harper, he's short. It'll be about 1.5 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
Now the interesting decision here, Howard. Will he go for it on 4th down? Bud Grant, who Neil Armstrong coached under for many years, went for many of these. But Neil's going to kick it.
Yeah, but Bud Grant had a quarterback named Sir Francis Dawkins.
No, more importantly, he had a fullback by the name of Foreman, 44, who would jump over there and make it.
Here's Bob Parsons on 4th down. Danny Reese, we anticipated, will be returning to the safety position, but the Bucks say no. There Danny Reese is. Long snap. The Bucks stay onside. And a tremendous kick, and it took a great Bear bounce. 40-yard punt. 40-yard punt. And Tampa Bay will be in deep trouble. It was Chris Haynes down there for the Bears, and the Bucks will be inside their 5.
Here's to good friend.
The Buccaneers elected not to drop a deep man on that punt by Bob Parsons. And Chris Haynes killed the ball at the 2-yard line, and that's where Tampa Bay is at the moment. The shadow of their own goalpost. Their first possession here in the second half. Ball goes up to Ricky Bell, and Ricky Bell nailed there, upended, super tackle by Gary Fensick.
No need to talk about Gary Fensick anymore, except to take note of this. That young man was a wide receiver at Yale. Look at that. Rushing yardage. Tremendous, right? Passing on both sides. Quite an offensive battle.
But the game is still in balance, Howard. 3-0, and Tampa Bay does not want a turnover here.
Fensick actually played in the East-West game. On the All-Star East team as a wide receiver, scored a touchdown, catching a pass. Developed his body, worked the weights, and became a strong safety.
Williams hands off to Eckwood, and Eckwood, nice running out of the 5-yard line to the 7, gain of 5. It'll be third down at 5.
There goes a happy face.
John McKay looking on.
Well, Giff, they threw it on first down from the 2. Do you think here at 3rd and 4 he'll try it again? I think it would be a good call to throw the ball. A good safe pass to one of the backs.
We're in the third quarter. Nearly 5 minutes have elapsed. Pride now all of a sudden shouting defense. They're back showing their allegiance to the Bears. Williams will put it in the air, the pressure, and he had to throw it away, and a flag is down. And it could be a holding call against Steve Wilson once again. But a good play by Doug Williams to get rid of the ball and prevent the safety. Here's Williams under a lot of heat, which he's been under all night tonight. The Bears have a good pass rush. He has nowhere to throw the football. As you see Hampton 99 come after him. He throws in a good safe spot in the middle of the field.
Holding, number 50, offense, decline the penalty. 4th down.
Wilson playing with a broken finger on the left hand, holding once again. Naturally declined because Tampa Bay must punt from their own end zone. The Bears will get good field position again. Eddie Waltershy is in to return punts, as you can see, standing near midfield. Tom Blanchard in his own end zone. Waltershy in there because Lusby was hurt for the Bears earlier. Waltershy himself playing with a very sore knee. Blanchard looking from the tight formation, and it takes a Bear bounce. And it will be down near the 40-yard line. Danny Reese got down there quickly to stop that ball from bounding either further deeper into Tampa territory. 32-yard punt. And the Bears will have the ball at Tampa's 40-yard line. The Chicago Bears, following a 32-yard punt by Tom Blanchard, have the football at the 40-yard line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Chicago Bears have a 3-0 lead. 10:04 remaining in the third quarter. Ryan Boschnagel, wide receiver, top of your screen, number 84, as the Bears adjust their alignment. Robin Earl in motion, and this is Walter Payton. And Payton upended. Line defensive play by Cecil Johnson. And we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
WLS-TV, Chicago.
Cecil Johnson battling through a block, drops Walter Payton for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 12. The ball back near the 43-yard line. Not much offensive action throughout the first half, in case you've just joined us. We're watching the Bears and the Bucks. The Bears leading 3-0. Phipps, pure timing pattern going out to his wide receiver, Ricky Watts, and Ricky Watts is pounded there.
Good defensive play by 25, Curtis Jordan. It's a quick out, and he's playing him awfully tight. Watch Jordan make the reaction. The ball is there, but so is Jordan.
Jordan hits that way. We noticed that in the game against Los Angeles when he made about 5 or 6 unassisted tackles.
He became a starter this year. And Darius White was traded to Washington and has performed well. 3rd down, long 12. Ball inside the 43-yard line of the Bears. Phipps, the blitz is on, and Phipps reads it and fires deep. Beistangle has it. Brian Beistangle has the ball at the 6-yard line, and Phipps very calmly under the full blitz delivered.
The Tampa Bay Bucks rushed 7 men that time. They left their defensive backs man on man. Here it is. You'll see the offensive line of the Bears pick up the blitz very nicely. There's Payton blocking on Dave Lewis.
He did throw a good block.
A very good block that enabled Phipps to get it off and get it to Boschnagel. And he beat Cotney, 33. Tough coverage, though.
You can give Sweetness, Walter Payton, a credit on that. He took on the biggest linebacker on the field, kept him out of Phipps' space, Phipps was able to deliver. Mark Cotney was back there trying to cover, but again, on the blitz, he was one-on-one with Barschmeckle. First down and goal. The ball at the 6-yard line. Phipps on a rollout. Looking in the end zone. He's going to run. Phipps will take it in. Score.
That'll be a hero.
Well, keep in mind, the Bears are doing this against the wind, and Tampa Bay will be faced with that same wind in the fourth quarter as they play catch-up.
As you look at Neil Armstrong, the right tackle, Dennis Slick, must have gotten a good block on Collar because Phipps had the whole corner to himself. Watch him roll to the right here. The right side of the Bear line will cave down. The Collar gets a good block. Collar's blocked there by Lick, and here he is with big Noah Jackson in front of him. Touchdown.
Bob Parsons on for the conversion now for the Bears. Parsons drills it through. Bob Thomas drills it through. The Bears have a 10-0 lead. We'll be back in Chicago right after this message.
Harry, you've been gone for hours. Didn't they have a muffler for you?
In the second half of the 3-0 lead, they looked fired up, and they immediately put 7 points more on the scoreboard. Key item was a tremendous punt by Bob Parsons that was down at the 2-yard line. The Bucs had to punt. They got a 32-yard effort from their punter, Tom Blanchard, and the Bears took it in. Gary Davis is deep. Bob Thomas hits it. This will be Gary Davis. Number 12, and it's taken away from Davis by Danny Reese. And they almost left it there for the Bears. Tampa playing sloppy football here tonight. They mark it at the 24-yard line.
Not often you'll see a John McKay coach team look like this.
There he is, one of the great records in the history of collegiate football. 16 years at USC, 3 national championships.
2 Heisman Trophy winners, 40 All-Americans. You could go on and on.
Good toss, Ricky Bell. Bell piled up as he moved out over the 25. It's something about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Gary Campbell defensively there for the Bears.
Frank, they still have 8 minutes with the prevailing wind behind them. The important thing now for Tampa Bay is to hold together, not panic. 10 points is very little in this league, even though tonight there's been an absolute parcel in scoring. They got to just play their game now, execute.
Brad Shear comes in, number 72 for the Bears defensively, and tackle Osborne. Taken up a little bit, steps out of the lineup for a moment. 2nd down, 7. Draw play, Eckwood. Bouncing and twisting, and the Bear team defensively has come to life. Bottom of the pile, Brad Shear. Tom Hicks is also there. I mentioned that George Hallis is sitting next to us in the press box, the grand old Bear of the Ball, and tonight he was a recipient of a $10,000 gift from the National Football League. It will go to the DuPage Heritage Gallery in Wheaton, Illinois for the National Red Grange Archives. Of course, Red Grange, a former Bear himself, Wheaton, Illinois, his home. Howard, of course, I know you were instrumental in bringing that about for that city of Wheaton, Illinois.
Well, not really, Frank, though it's kind of you to say so. It was done because it was deserving.
3rd and 4. Williams rolls out. Hit there by Alan Page. Was that a broken play?
I think it was. I think he missed the handoff to Eckwood. I don't know who was at fault.
And Alan Page, once again, is all over the field.
He is so quick. Watch him here. Back into the backfield.
Fight off those blocks.
Oh, he's some kind of player. He plays hard all the time, sideline to sideline. He's been some professional. There he is.
Having a tremendous night.
4th down. Blanchard again. Deep for the Bears. Lenny Walter-Scheid at his own 30. Blanchard had to hurry it, and he just did get it off. Walter-Scheid at the 40-yard line. Did not signal the fair catch, and he was pounded there by Norris Thomas. So the Bears, again, and I have repeated it over and over, will have good field position. They will begin at their 40-yard line. We'll be back in a moment.
Now,
Ending the third quarter, have the football at their own 40-yard line. Mike Phipps brings them up. The two tight ends are in. That means a single setback, Walter Payton. Robin Earl, 81. Bob Fisher, 85. The rookie from SMU at the tight end. This is Walter Payton. And Payton finds an opening and just erupts out to the 49-yard line for a gain of 9.
Let's put this in perspective, Frank. Now they can chew up most of the remaining time in this quarter, so that Tampa Bay will have virtually no time with the prevailing wind, which has been a dominant factor in the game.
Well, and you're going to chew it up. You got Walter Payton to do it.
That's it. They'll keep it on the ground as much as possible. And Tampa Bay helped by, in their last series, keeping it on the ground, Francis.
That's right. They didn't throw the ball at all.
2nd and 1. Payton now with only 30 yards. That was his longest gain of the night. Phipps fires complete to Dave Williams. He has the first down.
Now, when Phipps got rid of the Boo Birds and all the rest, ever since the end of the first quarter, he's been playing a solid quarterback.
He really has, Howard. He has no turnovers. He's completing a high percentage of his passes, and he's got them moving again.
The gain is to the 47-yard line of Tampa Bay, 1st and 10. And Tampa Bay 2-2 coming into tonight's game. Chicago 1-3, and of course in the Central Division of the NFC. Detroit is 4-1. They fell yesterday from the unbeaten ranks to Atlanta. Walter Payton again. And Payton skips down the sidelines inside the 45 to the 43. Gain of 4. It was 2nd and 6. Neil Colsey took Payton out of bounds.
Don't forget, folks, beginning tomorrow night, the championship playoff series. It'll be tomorrow night at Philadelphia, the Astros against the Phils, Mike Schmidt and company. And then Wednesday afternoon at Kansas City, the Royals and George Brett and company against the Yankees and Reggie Jackson and company with Jim Palmer, Billy Martin, and Al Michaels.
Bears thinking more about run than pass. Have the two tight ends in again. They get the ball to Payton on the draw. They go to the outside. Look out. Payton, another Bear first down. Down at the 32-yard line. They'll mark it at the 31.
What a treat, Gift, to watch this man play. Not only do you see his quickness, watch his quickness here. He's the only man set back there. There's no hole there up front. He takes it out to the right, which takes extreme quickness. And then he turns it on and gets the first down. Is he something?
Did you see that stutter step?
What people don't realize is you look at Walter Payton there, he is short of stature, but he is strong. He's built like a rock.
Walter Payton needs a little over 70 yards to overtake Gale Sayers for the combined offensive leader in the history of this Bear franchise, and that's 61 long years. 1st and 10. Big toss. Dave Williams. He's in trouble, but he spins back to the inside and still makes a couple out of it. It'll be 2nd and 8.
May I add to Francis's point about the strength of Walter Payton? Earlier you saw a brilliant cross block by Payton thrown against Dave Lewis that enabled a big play for Chicago. Payton's upper body strength is where it's at. It's enormous. That's why he can hit a bigger man with his shoulder the way he did.
5'10" and 202 pounds.
When he strips, as we say in boxing, heavy.
2nd down and 8. Ball just inside the 30-yard line of Tampa. Phipps has the time, and the ball deflected once again. Bill Puller, I think, got a call on that one. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
That sidearm release remains a problem. Tittle could get away with it.
Well, the interesting thing again tonight is we look at Mike Phipps' stats, which have improved since the first quarter. Leroy Selman, who has had 41 sacks in his 56 games he's played as a professional, has no sacks tonight, and now through 4 games and almost 3 quarters, he's only had 1.
And again, a defensive Leroy Selman, you've got to believe he gets a lot of attention, usually double-teamed on almost every block. Randy Crowder, the nose guard, is gone for the season. Phipps back on 3rd down and 8, fires over the middle to Walter Payton. And Payton carries linebacker Dewey Salmon with him, but not enough for a first down. It'll be 4th down and about 4.
Well, he got some shot from Curtis Jordan there, too.
And we are going to see a field goal unit headed by Bob Thomas coming onto the field.
This will be a pretty interesting kick if it's
as long as the season has been 42 yards.
He can kick this distance,
oh, yeah.
Frank.
He won a few years ago against Los Angeles, 55 yards.
He's taken 39 yards into a win. If he makes it, it'll be a tremendous kick.
Actually, a 44-yard attempt. On its way. It hangs. It's good. Into the wind. Bob Thomas from 44 yards out. The Bears, to the delight and glee of a sellout crowd here at Soldier Stadium, extend their lead.
He likes it. All right, Bob.
He likes it, but he wasn't at all sure because it hung there.
He didn't even have to kick it twice, Frank.
We'll be back.
Excuse me.
Sets himself up, as you can see, inside the 10-yard line, but not anticipating a long kick by Bob Thomas. Thomas likes to kick it high and get his defenders down under the kick, which he does. Hangs it up there. Gary Davis takes it at the 10. Otis Wilson down there quickly for the Bears. Tampa Bay will start from their own 23-yard line. They're down 13-0 with 2:46 remaining in the third quarter. Interestingly enough, the last time the Tampa Bay Bucks were shut out in regular season play was last December, by the Chicago Bears.
And they were shut out in the playoffs by the Rams.
Well, Brother Williams,
in the regular season.
Time to crank it up.
Johnny Davis, 38 in there for the Bucks, but the ball goes to Eckwood. Davis, of course, a gifted blocker, and he paves the way for Eckwood out of the 30-31. Gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3. Buckenstern defensively there on the stop for the Bears, number 58. Buckenstern, by the way, on that left side linebacker spot. There he is, number 58. Is only the third left side linebacker in 25 years. Bill Fortunato and Doug Buffone, both spending a lot of time there for so many years. To Ricky Bell. And Bell has the first down and breaks tackles. Gets out close to the 40-yard line.
Give him a chance. He can still do it. Did that in his own.
Well, the Bucks are not dead in this game. 2 touchdowns puts them up. But they're going to run out of the wind here, and they better get the ball in the air while they got a little wind behind them.
Johnny Davis stays in. Jerry Eckwood now in there with Johnny Davis. Davis, of course, 38. He's been in trouble with a sore ankle all season long. This is Jerry Eckwood. Right up the middle. Hit there by Allen Ellis. And not until he picks up 3 yards, it'll be second and 7.
Eckwood, the ball carrier, stopped by Fenwick and Buckenstern.
Both teams keeping the ball on the ground here in the third quarter.
Well, quite frankly, I don't understand why Tampa Bay is keeping the ball on the ground. 13 points down, the wind at their back.
Second and 7. Higgins goes out to the left. One wide receiver. There he is, top of your screen. And Williams will go down. The defensive charge of Dan Hampton nails Williams back inside the 35. A loss of 7.
Don't blame the quarterback in this situation. Doug Williams had no chance at all. Hampton beat Charlie Hanna here, clean as could be.
How did he
Charlie Hanna, and no chance. He didn't have a chance to set up.
How did he beat him?
He did. Quickly he beat him.
Dan Hampton, the first-round draft pick from last year. We talked about it. He came on a Tampa Bay #1 draft pick that Chicago got in exchange for Wally Chambers. Gary Davis is in there now, number 28 with Jerry Eckwood at setbacks. Gary Davis, of course, a good receiver. For Tampa on 3rd and 14. Williams overthrows Gordon Jones. Incomplete, it'll be 4th down. And Williams beginning to react to the pressure.
Well, after you get rushed as bad as he's been rushed, you do get a little nervous back there. He's had no protection tonight.
Now the crowd is behind its team. A far cry from their reactions in the first quarter. All the world loves a winner.
Tom Blanchard, who has not had the big foot tonight. Out to punt once again for Tampa Bay. Waterside is standing at his 24-yard line. This is Blanchard's 7th punt of the night.
Howard, I had an old fullback at Georgia by the name of Tater Bud Godfrey, and he said, "Aren't folks nice to you when you win?"
What was his name?
Tater Bud.
Blanchard, again under pressure, got it off. Flag is down. I think you might have seen the holding. 65-yard punt. Well, it's not a flag. It's a shoe, as a matter of fact. Somebody came out of it. Yeah, there is a flag down.
There is one down over there.
It looked like right in the middle of the line there was holding on the part of Tampa.
What a bad break for Tampa Bay this would be.
If you can get a replay of that, I think you'll see it.
There we go.
Right in the middle. There it is. Almost a tackle. It'll bring it back. Blanchard's best effort of the night is being brought back. Oh, boy. Because of the penalty.
Holding offense number 59.
Andy Hawkins, the offending Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and Blanchard will kick again.
Well, that would have been the worst field position the Bears would have had tonight. They've started no worse than their own 36-yard line. Got to put them on the 20, but it won't be.
As you can see, Waldenscheid position at his own 31. Blanchard, high and not long. Waldenscheid. The Bearcats called for and made at the 38-yard line on a 38-yard punt by Blanchard.
There's another flag, Gil.
Another flag.
Oh, no. But this one is down the field. This could very well be on the Bears.
Referee again tonight, Ben Dreith. He's been busy. Preliminary indication. Personal foul is going to go against the Bears. And it's marked off. 6th penalty against Tampa Bay. They've been penalized. Whether the 3rd penalty against the... Here's a
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the receiving team, number 83.
penalty against Chris Haynes. The Bears now have been penalized 3 times tonight for 30 yards. Tampa Bay 6 times for 60 yards. And the Bears will have their worst field position thus far of the night. They'll start from their own 22-yard line. 12 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
That's what I was going to say. You were right ahead of me.
Walter Payton, the single setback as the Bears continue with their 2 tight end offense. Payton, spin body left, and Payton gets out over the 25 to the 27 to pick up a 5. It'll be 2nd down at 5, and the final seconds are ticking down here in the 3rd quarter. There it is. You're watching it exclusive of ABC Sports. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. The score, the Bears 13, the Buccaneers nothing. We'll be back.
Sunday, they're the wildest truckers on the road.
You must be out of your mind.
And they're leading an army of cops on a cross-country chase.
I hate truckers.
Legends die hard, apparently.
The Bears have the football. 2nd down at 5. Roland Harper. Single setback now for the Bears at the 35. Activated only this afternoon. After being out for the full 79 season. Harper surges forward out over the 30 to the 32. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Frank, they are using basically the same offense now Vermeil used when the Eagles creamed the Giants 35-3. 1 back, 2 tight ends. Explain the advantage of that, Frank.
Well, the advantage of both tight ends, you can either run strong or weak, right or left, because the defense cannot overshift one way or the other. It gives a great back like a Payton or Montgomery the freedom to go either left or right, and it's a pretty good ball control offense, although now I'm not sure they use it. Yeah, they got both tight ends in.
Harper's progress was marked at the 32, so we'll call it 3rd down and 1. Payton, he has the 1st down, cuts back, and gets gets out to the 38-yard line.
But we got a flag. Yep.
Another flag down.
Maybe on Robin Earl.
Could be a holding penalty.
Holding indicated against the Bears.
And old Noah is upset. That's Noah Jackson, 65 with the Bears.
Offense, number 81.
Robin Earl.
Howard, you're right.
The tight ends.
Right on.
All right, the third quarter stats. Notice the way Chicago suddenly assumed domination in total yards, in rushing yards slightly, passing yards decisively, and now they lead in time of possession, where Tampa Bay earlier on had held it conclusively.
Tampa Bay only able to generate 60 yards through the air. Third down, 11. Bears from their own 22. Fumbles the football, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all over it. Dewey Selman, I believe.
Critical mistakes.
Trying to move out of the pocket. Had the ball jarred loose. And is taken by Leroy's little brother, Dewey.
So Giff, you see what Robin Earl's penalty cost him.
Yep. Phipps is doing the right thing. He didn't want to put it up for grabs, but he held it too loosely. And these kind of turnovers can turn games around.
Bill Kohler stripped the ball from Phipps. And Dewey Selman picked it up. The Bucs have the football inside the 25-yard line of the 24 of the Bears. They're down 13-0. Williams. In and out of the hands again of Gordon Jones.
And I fault the throw. That's a very good throw by Williams. Gordon Jones should have caught it.
They do drop an incredible number of passes. That's why he goes to Jimmy Childs.
Play coming in from the bench is called by Bill Nelson. There's Dewey Selman. One of 9 Selman boys. Single set back is Ricky Bell. Flag is down, and Williams is down at the 32-yard line.
And that's Dan
Loss
Hampton.
of 7 yards, but again, a flag is down, and Dan Hampton was in there again. Dan Hampton is having a field day. Or evening.
Well, if it's a holding call, I would imagine they will decline the penalty.
Holding indicated against Tampa.
Holding, offense, number 75, decline the penalty.
The guy he's chewing up is Charlie Hanna.
Yes, he is. That holding call was not against Charlie Hanna, however, against Dave Brevis.
Well, in this situation, Howard, Williams has still got 2 downs to make the first down. They're not going to try to take a field goal. He's got third and about 17 yards. Again, the intermediate pass, the 10 to 12-yard pass is the call to make.
Third down, 17. Ball at the 31-yard line of the Bears. Williams fires for Higgins. He was well covered. Pinsick was back there, as was Terry Smith. It'll be 4th down and out of the range of Gowrie Yepremian.
Well, you got 2 guys to give the defensive game ball to, Page and Fencer.
And how about Hampton?
And Hampton. Those stats are really sad. I feel sorry.
Well, the Bear defensive line has pressured Williams the entire night. He has not had time to throw the football. And that's why on that play, I'd rather see him go for an intermediate pass than a 20-yard pass, which he tried to do. Now he's got to go for the 18, 19-yard pass.
It would have been a field goal attempt of some 47 yards. That currently out of the range of Gowrie Yepremian. On 4th down, the Bucs will go. Over the middle is taken by Jones, and he breaks the tackle, has the first down at the 10. A clutch play by quarterback Williams to Gordon Jones, who has dropped 3 passes tonight.
I tell you, that could be the biggest play the Bucs have had this year.
Well, they gave him protection here. He had time to throw. He's got good vision. He hits Gordon Jones, but Gordon Jones is still short of the first down. Watch the move he makes on Plank to get the first down.
And Plank,
and it was short
tackler. First down at the 10-yard line. Gary Fensick, who's playing a football game tonight for the Bears. Young man coming off knee surgery of a year ago. Ankle surgery from a basketball injury. And there's a yard loss. He was up there quickly to stop Eckwood. Howard's former student. You taught him well, Coach.
I think you've been working him over in a football sense.
From the Bears' 11-yard line. The Bucs down 13-0. We're in the fourth quarter. 13 minutes remaining in the game. We do not see a flag. It was Gordon Jones working against Allen Ellis. Ellis lost his footing. Incomplete.
This is critical. They wasted the critical first down by running the ball.
They did, and that's...
And now he's only got two. They must score, and this is a big, big game for Tampa Bay because John McKay has to regroup his team. They want to get to a position of only one behind the Lions, whom the Falcons demolished yesterday.
And a field goal means nothing, Howard. They've got to go for the touchdown.
Nothing.
So they got two downs to get the touchdown.
Third down. As I said, inside 13 minutes. We're in the fourth quarter, and Williams is sacked. And the Bears have the football. Osborne was in on the sack. The ball took a bare bounce and into the arms of Alan Page.
Alan Page and Gary Fensick, they should walk off together. 82 and 45, though 45 dropped back.
Watch the pressure on poor Doug Williams. He has no chance to throw the ball down to the end zone. Hartenstein, 73, will get a good rush. Osborne inside will get a good rush. There comes Osborne, there comes Hartenstein, and they've got him. Hartenstein gets him.
The Chicago Bears taking a page out of Tampa Bay's book of a year ago, playing superb defense here in the second half. They have the football. We'll be back.
Here comes precious cargo.
Jim Osborne was all over Tampa Bay's Doug Williams, forcing the sack. The ensuing fumble, and Alan Page was there. The Bears have the football. They have a 13-0 lead. 12:46 remaining in the game, and the Bears will move from their 21-yard line. Walter Payton, single setback as the Bears stay with their two tight end offense. Oh, boy. Payton turns on the speed out to the 32-yard line. And we'd like to tell you right now, starting tomorrow and continuing Wednesday and Thursday on ABC's World News Tonight, a special assignment, Future Wars, fighting on the electronic battlefield. ABC News examines technological breakthroughs and sophisticated weapons that will affect all of our futures and the security of our country. Plus all the news of the day on ABC's World News Tonight here on ABC. Payton gets the first down out to the 32-yard line.
Payton's up to 61 yards on the night, Frank. Now he's getting into respectable figures. You can see the spirits of Tampa Bay sagging.
31 more yards, and he will take over the all-time yardage leader for the Bears. That, of course, from Gale Sayers. This is Payton again.
The whole offensive line charge now of the Bears is taking out the defensive line of the Bucs.
The second half, the offensive line of the Bears has dominated this game, and the defensive line of the Bears has dominated the Bucs offensive line the entire game.
82, Page. 89, Hampton. 45, Fence. They're the heroes of this game.
They really are.
They mark the ball at the 39-yard line. Second and a long two. Roland Harper comes in, number 35. Harper in 78 was a 900-yard gainer himself before the knee injury just before the 79 season. Walter Payton. He'll be close to a first down, perhaps less than a yard short. David Lewis made the stop.
Show you what's happening, Gibb. Sweetness in his last 7 carries has picked up 50 yards. So you can see fatigue overtaking Tampa Bay.
It also shows you if he gets just a little help from his offensive line, he can run.
Now bring out the yard markers for the measurement. Inches short. And as they bring the yard markers back, we'll tell you this telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Third down, Inches.
Giff, usually in situations like this, as you know, with inches to go, they have one play they want to go with. The last time they were in this situation, they went with the quarterback sneak. Be interesting to see if they do the same thing again.
I doubt it.
All right, I think they will.
Mike Phipps brings the Bears up. Their short yardage offense, of course. Phipps goes with the quarterback sneak. He should have the necessary distance for the first. His surge carrying him at least the few inches he needed. Thank you for the loan, Howard Cosell and Frank Tarkenton. And next week, after Howard has covered about 8 zillion miles, we'll be in Denver. And I'm not understating it. I don't think you are really something else. Denver Broncos against the Washington Redskins.
And Craig Morton came off the bench yesterday to lead Denver to a 19-16 win over Cleveland.
Well, with that remarkable play by Gradishaw.
Yes.
Gradishaw to Jackson to Gradishaw.
Bears now grinding away on the clock. First and 10, the ball inside their own 43. This is Roland Harper. Down goes Harper. David Lewis. Not on a blitz, but reading the play, and another flag is down.
Best give-and-go play I ever saw in football.
Well, that's an interesting, as a late flag, and it could very well be against the Bucs for some kind of personal foul. Let's see.
Personal foul against Tampa.
Well, this is a young football team, Tampa Bay, and they're showing it tonight.
Here's the call, referee Bendright.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on a defense, number 56. That's a first down.
Funny thing about this league and this game, Fran, they talk about youth, and yet a very young Tampa Bay team almost got to the Super Bowl last year. This was supposed to be the year that the Jets would arrive.
Yep.
And both the Jets are winless, and this team is now going to be under 500.
Tampa Bay now penalized 7 times on the night for 75 yards. On first and 10 at Tampa's 43-yard line, the ball goes to Peyton. Peyton inside the 40, a gain of 3. It'll be second and 7. The ball at the 39-yard line. David Lewis on the stop defensively.
Point is, Frank, developing maturity may be undoing them, not helping them.
You know, another interesting point, if the Bears hold on and win tonight, you realize there'll be a 4-way tie for second place in the Central Division of the NFC. And guess who one of those 4 teams will be? The Green Bay Packers. And poor Bart Starr has been under such fire down there, and he's got his Packers in second place.
Green Bay, of course, a winner yesterday. In their very first game of the season, they beat this Bear team.
With Chester Markham.
Second and 6. Ball at the 39-yard line of Tampa. That's Big Robin Earl in motion. And off is Walter Payton. Watch out as Walter Payton gets inside the 25, and the crowd loves it.
Once again, stutter step.
Is he something or not? He is so good.
Unofficially, Walter Payton has 91 yards on the night. His combined offense has exceeded that of Gale Sayers. He's the all-time combined offensive weapon the Bears have had in 61 years.
Look at him break tackles. Great backs break tackles. Just get him to the line of scrimmage, they say, and I'll go from there, and he does.
And he has accomplished these amazing statistics in just this, his 6th year.
And in this half, Frank, in 11 carries, he's picked up 80 yards.
He will do it rather quickly if you give him just the slightest gap. Ball at Tampa's 22-yard line. Bears keeping the offensive team at Tampa on the bench. Inside the 20.
And we're in
3. It'll be second 7.
Excuse me, Gib, we're inside 9 minutes.
Well, you'll notice that time he went to the left, and that's where Leroy Selman lives. And you don't go around his end too often. He's been making most of his yards around the right side. I would think the Bears ought to stay to the right and stay away from Mr. Selman.
Neil Armstrong, who started his coaching many, many years ago, was a teammate, by the way, of Bud Grant with the Philadelphia Eagles. Good offensive end at Texas A&M. Coached up in Canada.
A lot of joy between those two.
Second and 7, draw play. Walter Payton. He does it like magic inside the 15. They'll mark it right at the 15. Another gain of 3. It'll be third down, a long 3 to go for the first. Curtis Jordan made that stop where Peyton might have been in the end zone.
Sweetness is on a roll, Howard.
Yep.
He's on a roll.
3rd and 3 at the 15.
Up to 96 yards unofficially.
Scott comes out, a wide receiver for the Bears. Ricky Watts comes in. Both Scott and Watts suffering from nagging injuries in the early season. 3rd and 3. Peyton just bowling ahead. Then he'll be close to a first down. The seconds are ticking off.
Well, if he doesn't make it, a field goal puts it out of reach.
That's 100 yards for Walton Payton.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to kick the field goal.
100 yards for Payton. He got 89 of them. He has 89 of them here in the second half. Here's Bob Thomas. He's kicked a pair tonight. One from 44 yards against the wind. One from 30 yards out. And Bob Thomas is out to kick again. And the Bears decide their alignment is not right. They call a timeout. 6:49 remaining in the game. We'll be back.
The Boeing 747, the Boeing 727, the Boeing 707, the Boeing 737, and soon 2 new airplanes, the 757 and the 767. The Boeing family, the world's favorite way to fly.
The world feels a whole lot better when the people of the world all get together. The world feels a whole lot better when we all get together. Look!
It isn't such a big world.
See!
All the places and the faces.
Feel!
All the loving and the laughter.
Bring us together. And you'll see the world feels a whole lot better when the people of the world all get together.
Boeing jetliners have done more to jet the world together than anything ever made by man.
The world feels a whole lot better when we all get together.
Tomorrow, the Houston Astros meet the Philadelphia Phillies in Game 1. Wednesday, the Yankees and Royals begin their championship series live on ABC.
The Chicago Bears have their field goal unit on the team. They have a 13-0 lead. 6:49 remaining in the game. They had to use a timeout. They looked around in the huddle and said, hey, we don't have enough folks here.
Look at that.
Thomas is out there now.
Peyton. He has tripled the yardage rushing of the opposition team in this half.
29-yard attempt. On its way. And through the uprights. Good night. Yeah, Thomas, third field goal of the night. And the Bears move out on top 16-0. We'll be returning to Soldier Field in Chicago right after this message. Points to extend their lead 16-0 over the Bucks. They use 6 minutes and 1 second. Gary Davis is deep. Bob Thomas puts the foot to it, driving Gary Davis into the end zone. Gary Davis is in the open.
I told you about this guy.
And he's pursued there by John Skavinsky. And Gary Davis puts Tampa Bay into Bear territory. 54-yard return by the scampering Gary Davis.
At least that's twice tonight that Gary Davis has given Tampa Bay field position. It's too little, too late, doubtless now, Francis, but this guy's a player.
Well, he made a good move there. Obviously got some good blocks on the special teams, and he turns it on.
John Skavinsky corrals Gary Davis at the 47-yard line of the Bears. On first down to the air. Fires quickly to Jones, and another flag is down.
Well, it's going to be a holding penalty if we watch
Jones battling inside the 30 to 28, but again, the flag is down.
I don't know, Giff, who they're going to call it on, but 2 guys were holding Jim Osborne in a bear hug.
You know, this is a little strange for Tampa Bay. The last 2 games they played, their offense clicked decidedly better than their defense. But tonight they have generated little or no offense at all.
Well, the Chicago defense had something to do with this. The guys we've named have been tremendous.
They may call this on
Holding offense, number 75.
Holding against Dave Revis. But they also had a big day offensively against the Dallas Cowboys. They have a pretty fair defense.
This is tough for the good folks in Tampa Bay and that whole area. Boy, they've given their hearts to this team, and they're looking for a playoff berth this year. It's a long way to go.
I don't think any city has supported a franchise, an expansion franchise like Tampa Bay. They've really got behind this club. On 1st and 20. Williams, ball was bobbled and then dropped by Gordon Jones. Tonight also marks the first time in Dave Williams' career, or rather Doug Williams' career, that he's been sacked twice in a game.
Well, that young man has had no chance tonight. He hasn't gotten the protection from his offensive line. There's no quarterback in the world that can throw with the pressure he's had on him.
2nd down, 20. It off to Jerry Eckwood, and a flag is down.
And I think that could be defensive pass interference. You got 2 flags, Giff. One's in the backfield.
That's right. Eckwood was being buffeted about as he tried to cut across the middle of the field. And another flag went down back around Dave Williams.
Once again, you saw
holding 58, roughing the passer, number 99 on the offense. We're going to replay it.
Tremendous pressure again on Doug Williams.
Dan Hampton guilty of
now both penalties were against the defense, weren't they, Giff? Roughing the passer they called, and they called defensive holding.
Alan Page again. It was 99 who committed the penalty, Hampton. But
they got to take the penalty. Both penalties were against the defense, and they're going to mark it off, the 15-yarder.
you see Allen in there again?
Roughing the passer, number 99 defense. 1st down.
And Doug Williams is limping a little bit.
Doug Williams is limping. We've been watching him. He was really blasted. You can see him moving gingerly up behind the center. Ricky Bell, single setback on the 1st down.
My goodness.
Sacked again at the 44-yard line. Alan Page. And the Bear defense is just forgetting run altogether. They're just turning it loose and blowing in there.
Alan Page in there again, among others.
This is horrible pass protection. Everybody's in there, but Alan Page is really something. Hampton's back there with him, too. Poor Williams has nowhere to go.
A loss of 12. 4th sack of the night on Williams. Chuck Piscina comes in a quarterback for Tampa Bay.
Well, I don't blame McKay for doing this. Save Williams.
Yep. Chuck Piscina, of course, 2nd-year man out of Penn State. He was a 5th-round draft pick last year. Set numerous records at Penn State, and we are going to have a delay of game in the change of quarterbacks.
When it goes wrong,
it goes wrong.
Tell you, when it starts to go wrong against the Bears, look out.
Yep.
Offense delay.
Chuck Piscina was a 5th-round draft pick. He was part of the Earl Campbell trade of draft picks.
How about a 2nd and 28 call from the coach on the sideline? I don't know what you could do in this situation.
Piscina, his 2nd NFL pass of his career, reflected by Jim Osborne. It'll be 3rd down and 28, which is not a whole lot better than 2nd and 28.
This doesn't look like a team that lost 34-13 to the Vikes. Not in the second half it didn't. They came together. This could turn their season around, the Bears. 34-13 to the Vikes, 38-3 to the Steelers. That can happen.
Yes, that can happen.
Doug Williams testing the leg that was skippy there for a couple of plays. 3rd and 28 for Chuck Piscina. Alan Page.
offensive line of the Bucs. Look at him there. He runs Messina out. Messina don't know which way to go.
No, he just wanted to get away from Page.
And run for the sideline. Smart quarterback, son.
Life was easier at Penn State.
I should say.
Tom Blanchard will punt for Tampa. Lenny Walterscheid deep for the Bears at the 20-yard line. 5:16 remaining in the game. Bears with their 16-0 lead. Blanchard, high and long. Walterscheid from his 14-yard line. 46-yard punt, and Walterscheid moves it out to the 22-yard line. 8-yard return for Walterscheid. 5 minutes now remaining in this game. We'll be back in a moment.
Unofficially 8 yards on the return.
I make one trick shot in a light beer commercial.
While we were away, Mike Phipps came over to the sidelines, went back out on the field. He received a standing ovation. Such is the nature of the capricious fans of pro football. They almost ran him out of town last week.
At boxing, at baseball.
Bears at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. Peyton has had a tremendous second half. Stays on his feet. Gets out over the 25 to the 27. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
You know, Neil Armstrong doesn't need the advice from us, Fran, but I wouldn't want to risk Peyton with injury at this stage. The game's in the bag.
I agree with you, Howard. And as we look at the Bears here in this game, they've got a big game coming up next week in Bloomington, Minnesota against the Vikings, who 2 weeks ago beat them handily here. Both teams will be 2 and 3 in that game. And a very important divisional game for both.
2nd down and 5. Peyton now with 105 yards, 94 coming in this half. Peyton once again. He has the 1st down, or very close to it. He might be perhaps half a yard short. Curtis Jordan made the stop. Quick reminder for Francis and you fans looking in on the West Coast coming up immediately after the game. That's incredible.
Some fans down below us are holding up number one. We're number 1. At 2 and 3, they've got a touch of a way to go.
What a night they're number 1.
Yes, the Bears get their 1st down.
Well, as you said a while ago, Howard, it's a long way to go. 16-game season. 11 more weeks.
Best evidence is what the Bears did last year, coming from 3 and 5.
And Tampa Bay will be in it all the way. I think the Bears will be in it all the way.
Bears next Sunday will be at Minnesota. Green Bay will be at Tampa. Bears 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Walter Payton again gets the call, and he's been the workhorse here in the second half. The story has been the tenacious Bear defense, headed by Alan Page. Alan Page now in his 14th year.
This Bear organization has a strong Minnesota flavor to it, Howard. Jim Fink's the general manager here. Bill McGrain is here. The equipment manager, Ray Hurley. The head coach, Neil Armstrong. The defensive coordinator, Buddy Ryan. They all came out of
what Bud is thinking as he watches Allen tonight.
Well,
Mike Lynn.
Bud is probably out fishing somewhere. I doubt if he's even watching the game.
I bet Bud is enjoying it. He gave Minnesota a lot of good years, Alan Page did. There he is. Right out.
Get him out now, Neil. That's enough. Get him out of there.
Peyton inside the Bucs' 45-yard line. Running over his own men to do so.
He's now up to 134 yards, 123 this half. As you look again at that last burst.
And he almost broke this. He's trying to get a block out of Robin Earl, and he runs right up Robin Earl's back.
That's good.
Walter Payton's coming out of the game to a standing ovation.
I think he deserves it.
The man who tonight passed, as Frank has told you, Gale Sayers, all-time Bear record for rushing.
That's for combined offense.
Oh, correct.
Here's Dave Williams. And Williams does it to the Bucs this time. Reggie Lewis on the stop. And we have moved down to the 2-minute warning. as Dave Williams is close to another Bear first down. We'll be back in Chicago in a moment. Payton has made the difference. Payton once again gets the first down, but a flag is down. And it's going to work against the Chicago Bears.
There's a flag on the field.
Thank our statistician and research man, Mike Swanson, filling in for Jerry Klein tonight. Spotter, of course, Steve Bazika.
Holding offense, number 70.
Penalty against Dennis Lick, and I might as well throw in some few kudos for the engineers and the technical staff of ABC. We are spread all over the country, as you well know, with the baseball playoffs coming up. Texas, Oklahoma coming up on Saturday. Cameramen, technicians, they're really being put to the test this week. Second down and 10. Dave Williams gets into trouble, tries to cut back, and is taken there by Mark Cotney.
While you're passing out kudos, Frank, I'd like to pass along our congratulations and best wishes to one of our ace cameramen, Tommy O'Connell. He's getting married on Saturday. Lots of luck.
I presume that's Tommy up there.
Well, right next to us is George Papa Bear Hallis, and I know that he is happy and relieved tonight with the performance of his Bears.
What a remarkable man. He's, what is he, 86 now, and he looks better? Oh, he's just a great man.
He looks great. One of the true pioneers of this league, and we're all indebted for it to him.
It all began as Decatur Staleys back in 1920, and here comes Dave Williams once again, and he is swarmed over by the Bucks at the line of scrimmage.
Glad you remember the Decatur Staleys, Frank. You're out there opening game. Papa Bear's quarterback was Chuck Dressel.
Now, Giff, you don't have to take that.
I heard you talking with Sid Luckman today about that. I really didn't believe that, but I guess it's true.
Sid Luckman and I went to high school together.
Oh, I've heard that.
Now, Giff, tell me the truth. How good was Bronco Nagurski?
He was big and good.
Don't forget tomorrow the Major League Championship Series. Houston against Philadelphia at Philadelphia tomorrow night. Wednesday afternoon, the American League kicks off. The Yankees at Kansas City. Wednesday night, it's Houston at Philadelphia, and so we'll go for the remainder of the week. Covering the Yankee games, Al Michaels, Billy Martin, Jim Palmer. Covering the National League, our regular team of Keith Jackson, Don Drysdale, and yours truly. So be with us.
On fourth down, we see Bob Parsons. Danny Reese drops for the Bucks. 59 seconds remaining in the game.
I wonder if Reggie will be wondering what Billy is saying in the booth.
This is what? Reggie's first 300 season, isn't the Major Leagues, I believe.
He's had a tremendous year.
For a long period of time, he carried those Yanks. Parsons manages to get it off. I think it was just slightly deflected. Tremendous pressure there by the Bucks. Norris Thomas is in on the rush. He might have even got a hand on it. And they'll mark it at the 11-yard line. There's Norris Thomas in a Dolphin uniform a year ago.
Here's Parsons. He has trouble handling the snap. He almost gets it blocked. Slightly deflected, but it ended up in pretty good shape down the 11-yard line. But it doesn't make a lot of difference, Howard.
No. None at all.
And another reminder, next Monday night, we'll be in Denver for the Washington Redskins and the Denver Broncos. Messina is buried, bobbled. That could have even been picked off.
It's intercepted.
Intercepted, I believe.
That's Page.
Alan Page.
On the bottom.
What a finish to the evening for him. I swear he's just gotten out of Notre Dame. He's only 22.
35 years old. The only lineman in the history of this league to be named the most valuable player of the league. There he is here. The ball's going to slip out of Messina's hands. He's got two blockers on him. It just slipped out of his hands. It hits the headgear of Rydell, and Alan Page has got an interception, and he hasn't had many of those in his career.
That's in a vague way a replica of the sharp play.
I'll tell you the kind of condition he's in. He recently ran a 26-mile marathon, 3 hours and 57 minutes. Now that, at 35 years old, and his condition that is remarkable.
And Jeff, you know what the Bears gave up to get him? $100.
And on top of it, he's studying law. Or is he practicing now?
He's practicing law. He's a lawyer.
That's great.
Oh, he's terrific.
Great thing to see. We'll remember this individual effort all year long.
Page's interception.
Look at the satisfaction written in his face.
Puts the Bears on the 1-yard line of Tampa Bay, and it has not been Tampa Bay's night. Tampa Bay last year with their 10-6 record. The Bears also had a 10-6 record, but Tampa Bay had a better divisional record. And there has to be
dejected, man. Bob alerts him of wherever you are. If Page can do it, you can do it.
Comeback works.
And this man came back with a pretty good second half.
Now, what do you think?
Standing ovation.
Jeff, what do you think Neil Armstrong could be telling Mike Phipps at this time?
Don't forget about the playoffs. Point differentials count.
They do. They need to go ahead and score.
Oh, that's great.
What remains of a capacity crowd of 64,000 is chanting. They want the Bears to get into the end zone. Go, go, go. He got it. Phipps into the end zone on the quarterback sneak.
Abe Gibran, once the head coach of the Chicago Bears. That man was all muscle at 270. At 300, he says, I'm a fat slob, but I can still coach. He's a marvelous man.
And he knows every restaurant owner in this country. Well.
Here's Bob Thomas. Capped this game off for the Bears tonight. 36 seconds remaining.
Really,
Thomas drills into the uprights.
What a convincing victory it turned out to be. A new team in the second half, the Chicago Bears.
Thomas spanks it into the end zone. There's Gary Davis. He's smart. You better cover it.
He's smart.
Look at this strategy session. They got a big play worked out. What he should do is quarterback sneak and fall down, run out the clock.
36 seconds left.
Don't get anybody hurt.
I said earlier, you mentioned Bart Starr, the Green Bay Packers. Well, they'll be in Tampa Bay on Sunday. And as I mentioned earlier also, Chicago will be at Minnesota.
Frank, Tampa Bay had the ball for 3 minutes in this quarter. Chicago for 11 minutes and 16 seconds.
Messina, put it in the air. The philosophy, I'm sure, is to maybe get Messina used to a little NFL action. He had one passing attempt as a rookie a year ago.
Yes, he did. There's his man, Roland Harper. He didn't play a lot, but he played effectively in there.
He played effectively in the second half when they started to roll.
And Peyton patted him on the helmet, said, thank you, big fella.
Unnecessary roughness, number 58, first down.
Jerry Muckenstern feeling his oats.
Yep, he kissed that wood pretty good there.
It's a first down for Tampa out of the 35. Messina chased out of the pocket.
Go down.
And he hook slides up to the 49-yard line. The seconds tick away.
I don't believe they're not calling timeout, are they, Howard?
I'm afraid.
No, they really did. They called timeout.
He's getting instructions.
Messina moves over to the sidelines, and they again apparently thinking a point differential in the playoffs.
No,
us a chance to remind you again, we'll be in Denver, where the snow is starting to smell in the air out there. I like this time of year out in the Rockies. We'll be there for the Washington Redskins.
Who do you think will be the quarterback of the Broncos next Monday night, guys? Robinson or Morton?
I don't know. Red Miller, I don't think Red Miller's given up on Matt yet. In the meantime, the Redskins at 1-4 are a better team than that record shows. Yes, they really are. They've had very difficult luck, and of course the loss of Riggins is catastrophic.
On first down, Jusina goes to Jerry Eckwood. Eckwood puts a little move on and moves inside the 40 to the 43-yard line. They've called another timeout.
Yeah, it's hard to understand. It really is.
Well, they won't call anymore because they're gone.
I mean, that's a formality that one can do without.
Well, McKay called it.
They remain.
I saw him give the signal on the sideline to call the timeout, which they did.
Well, putting into perspective, the game is lost, of course, but Chuck Jusina is seeing his real first action, and I'm sure that John McKay would like to have him feel that heat out there for a while. Get used to it. There might be a time when he has to come in for real.
There's Barry Bucks. And so they did.
Offset. Tampa Bay timeout. That's their last timeout.
Offsetting penalties. And there's Walter Payton. He had himself a night.
It's lonely on top, Walter.
Could be the final play of the game. 12 seconds remaining. Does the stop could be incompletion. Cena puts it up, and it is stopped.
Oh, they got a flag down there.
The flag is down.
Personal
The
foul.
17-yard line. Personal foul against the Bears against Jimmy Giles.
And the penalty should start back at the line of scrimmage, 15 yards.
Jimmy Giles, the leading receiver for the Bucs a year ago, and a great all-pro at that, has one reception on the night for 5 yards.
Well, Howard, maybe McKay knew what he was doing.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, number 45. Defense, first down.
Very fencing.
The personal foul for the Bears. Chicago tonight penalized 105 yards. Tampa Bay penalized 90 yards.
Alan Page.
Jeff Casina has run out the clock. This is Ricky Bell. This ball game is over. For the delight of Bear fans. Well, as the Chicago Bears go to a 2-3 mark, Tampa Bay goes to 2-3. And there is a man who had himself a show tonight.
He really did. And quite fittingly, the last hit was made by Gary Fenton. It ended as it began.
Stay tuned now for ABC News Nightline, 30 minutes after the game, or 11:30 on the West Coast over most of these ABC stations. Once again, the final score of the Bears, 23, the Buccaneers, nothing. Travel arrangements made through and a promotion fee paid by United Airlines.